to lead the Skol chant and sound the Yeller horn, please welcome the 31st Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Major General John Jensen.
Well, hello, this is John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, and it is my pleasure to say, Minnesota Vikings fans uncensored, are you ready? Keith, get your people up. Let's go. Skol, 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 baby. Let's go.
Woo! Our boy Johnny never gets old. What's going on, guys?
Happening.
Everybody's looking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Oh, shit.
Skol, Leonard. Skol, Robbie. Yeah, buddy. So, we had a little bit more time on our hands, and I know, I think, Ronaldo, you definitely finished watching Recevier, right?
Oh yeah, I finished it. I binge everything. I watch it. It's been so long, I almost forgot a little bit of it.
Oh, well, I watched episode 6 today. I've still got a couple more episodes to go. Cody's going to be sitting in the background, just kind of watching us talk, I guess.
I haven't watched a single episode. I mean, I watched the one Kirk Cousins episode on quarterback last year, and that was it.
Yeah.
I'm more seeing what they do on the field. I could care less what they do off the field, because off the field it seems like it's just all drama. Special adjustments.
Cody says, "Talk to me in 2 weeks when we can talk about Deadpool and Wolverine."
Yeah.
Well, just a couple of notes. Non-Viking, Devontae Adams definitely showed himself out to be a diva, right? I mean, complaining about how the team looked when they played in the beginning, and then they started winning without using him, and he was like trying to stay PC. He was like, "This is weird, man. This is weird," which, when you put in Google Translate, that means, why the hell ain't they giving me the ball? I don't care if we're winning.
That was in the Raider game, the Viking Raider game, right? That was the game that was happening in, wasn't it?
No, it actually happened before that. They were winning. They were winning, and he was like, "Wait a minute, they're winning without me being the focus."
This is not what it's supposed to look like. It's not supposed to look like this.
Yeah.
And they just won 2 games in a row.
Right.
What does he think? It's not supposed to look like Raider football?
Yeah. I guess not. I guess he never watched the Raiders before.
I mean, what's his name? Art Pierce comes in, and he's like, "We're going back to what it means to be a Raider." And what's Raider? Smash mouth, maybe get your hands a little dirty, a little extra stick them on the cornerbacks. I mean, find ways to cut corners to get the win, whatever. Just do whatever. And Devontae was like, "Man, I ain't got 10 catches for 120 yards. What the hell?" Let's go on. But I will say I love his family stuff.
Devontae.
Yeah. I know Robbie went off on the family stuff. He hated it. Me personally, I love the family stuff. I love seeing that. I like seeing them as human beings. I mean, would I love to see in the meeting rooms giving away all the secrets of what they're planning and all that? Yeah, but they're not going to give us that. So I guess if I'm going to see some behind the scenes shit, I'm going to see Kittle have his birthday party and get a bunch of shoes hung on the ceiling.
I like how you say family stuff, and there's a guy he just had a family, but he's not very family oriented.
Who's that? Who are we talking about, man?
Our man.
Yeah, but you know what? Adam's house is legit. He looks like a guy that lives in the wide receiver that lives in an NFL freaking house, man. That thing is set up. Perfect. It's what you would expect a wide receiver to look like. Now, on the other hand, when you look at Jefferson's house, the dude lives in like a townhouse. It's like you see him at his parents' house all the time.
Give it a year.
I'm not saying 3 years in. I mean,
yeah,
still
Devontae Adams money.
Yeah.
Skol Anthony.
Adams money now.
Yeah.
Skol Linda. And yeah, that dresser that JJ pulled that jewelry off of looked like something I might have had 10 years ago. I'm just saying. Yeah. Skol, Lucy. Wow. Got all kinds of faces from the past.
The thing that surprised me, or not surprised me, but I found interesting was when Devontae Adams was having the birthday party for his kids. And like when all of his neighbors came over and they came in and like looking around like, what the hell is this? What do these people do? Like they didn't know who he was, what he did, but they were just all caught off guard, like how big the backyard was and all this stuff back there. Why doesn't it look like this? Like that was the biggest thing they caught me off guard. Like you got this football superstar in your neighborhood and you don't even know it.
And my daughter wanted a dinosaur birthday, and so she got a dinosaur birthday.
I'm surprised a real dinosaur didn't come out.
I mean, or somebody at least in a T-Rex costume, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She's gonna love the story when she grows up because she ain't gonna remember it.
True. Well, it'll be on Netflix.
Yeah, right.
My birthdays weren't ever on Netflix.
No.
And you know what? Despite the fact that George Kittle looks like a homeless meth head, I really like him, man.
Bro, Kittle's the man.
I do too, and I don't know if it's for the same reason that you guys do. I mean, yeah, he seems like a funny, nice guy, but like, I like whenever somebody messes up, he goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. Better days coming. We'll get it next series. You're gonna get him. Don't worry about like he's the first." And then he'll turn around and be like, "Fuck."
Yeah, he's a pretty good bundle of positive energy.
Isn't this a fun sport? Football's so fun, and it's like after you got hit in the dick.
Yeah. The dick lines were the funny one, man. It was Harrison Smith. It was great.
Well, I thought it was funny. It's like he's going to Harrison Smith, and he's kind of joking with it. At least give me a hug or something. And Harry's like, "Get the fuck away from me, bro."
Harry doesn't do that shit. He don't play those games, man.
Yeah,
it was funny. Like you can see, he probably has some kind of TV personality. Our guy Justin Jefferson. Has like any opinions changed on him or your thought about Justin Jefferson or who he is? Has any of that changed for you guys at all from watching this show?
They showed the least of his actual personality. Now, like he's a bubbly, nice guy. He's still like a big kid though to me. He hangs out at his parents' house. He's got this guy that's like a personal chef, but he's got a cabinet full of candy. The guy is he is who we see him as. I think if that's as deep as he is a surface dude. He is not a deep guy at all, which is fine. He must be all football. Not a lot going on. No girlfriend at the time. I mean, we know what happened subsequently, but we don't see him with a chick. We don't see him partying. We don't see him at like a bar or nothing. The dude is just like work, home, mom and dad. Yeah.
He's like a pretty basic dude. Like he likes to play video games and stuff. He likes to be with family, chill at home. Kind of makes you wonder why he need to be the highest paid player.
I think he does.
It just doesn't seem like he lives that kind of life. I mean, he's already got the chains and everything. And I already know it's because of what I've said in the beginning. It's all about the ego. Like he doesn't need the money. He doesn't care about the money. Like he said before, I'm not fond of money. And watching this, you kind of see that. Like he's not like that. It was all about ego. But
maybe he wanted to get paid.
Ego in person though, like when you see him, like in the show, like he seems like very down to earth.
Totally.
Maybe he wanted to get paid because of the work he put in. Like we talk about how much work it looks like he just does work and goes home and then wakes up to go do more work. Like the kid wasn't even a 3-star wide receiver coming out of high school, and like True. Now he become the best wide receiver in the league. I mean, I think to me, he just wanted to get paid for. He wanted to see his work get paid off. If that kind of makes sense. Like, and he's getting paid for it. So I'm all for it. I'm all for whatever he does, and just to see him go from that 3-star to that big player, big name in the NFL.
I liked his attitude while he was injured and coming off of it, because unlike Davante Adams, who was like, wait a minute, what? He was like, man, I got to get back. I got to help him win. I'll do whatever it takes to help him win. We got to win. And it just didn't matter to him. He wanted to, but he wasn't being like, man. And another thing, I did not discount it when it happened, when he got hit in the back. I thought there might be something really wrong on that Raiders game where he got hit in the back off on that reception. But when I saw he was spitting up blood and he probably had some bruising going on in his internal organs from that hit, I thought, damn. I mean, damn, to go a lifetime without injury and then to start having some stuff like that happen, I respect him.
I do too. Trust me, if they let him back in the game, even after he was splitting blood, he would have gone back in that game. He would have gone back in that game. The dude did not want to come out. And the way they explained it to him was awesome to see how they actually took the time to say, hey, this is what's going on with you. And he had to do what he had to do. But he's a warrior. I was literally sitting like 4 rows behind it. I thought I was going to find me and my brother-in-law sitting in the stands. We were right at where the tent was. We were like, 8 seats over from where that tent was. And I didn't see him doing that at the time, and I had my eyes on him the whole way. I remember him getting down and crouching down and then walking off the field. And I remember seeing his mother like at the tunnel, his parents, and he kind of gave him the head nod. So I wasn't very far away from that whole scene. It was kind of interesting to see it again up close like that.
Hager says,
Skol, Trevor. Skol, Brian. Let me do a quick impression for you.
I don't know the meaning of freaking golf balls. Is that you and Hager thing there?
Yeah. Hager, I have the balls. You do not. Just leaving it at that.
So here's a quick impression for you. This is the look of a person who has to explain to the world why his dad was wilding the fuck out while he was thinking of a name for him. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, come on, man. The kid's got – I love the kid as a football player, man. And
you really got it.
And I think he's a phenomenal football player. Man, I just wish he could smile a little more.
I know. I feel bad for him. His old man really, really got in his head, bro.
You know what? Like, you guys talked about his old man and everything before I even started watching, and I'm only, I think, 3 or 4 episodes in, and I'm not seeing it the way you guys are seeing it. Like, yeah, he was like kind of tough and like, but like, not like it wasn't like Tiger Woods' dad or Todd Marijuanovich, whatever. Like, he wasn't like that. Like the pressure, like it was just like a hard dad. Like, you fall, you're gonna get hurt, like type dad. And if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it right.
I would agree with that, except the look on St. Brown's face when he was like a freaking 10-year-old, and he couldn't even like he looked like a 40-year-old. He didn't look like a kid. So I get the tough disciplinarian dad, and that's all good, and it's got him where he is. But man, I don't think the guy had a childhood. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
There was a scene where the dad talked about he would, if it was a beautiful day out, he would actually. He said, "Well, it wasn't all work. I mean, 75, 80 degrees, beautiful day out. I'd go sign him out of school, take him to the beach." So there was a little bit of balance. It's just, I mean, you can kind of tell when a parent takes their son and says, "We're doing this," and just drives him, and I'd say there was some drive. I wish he could find it comfortable to be able to open up a little bit.
I agree.
Hager, Amon-Ra went in the 3rd round. It was the same round we went for Chaz Surratt and Wyatt Davis.
What did you guys about him with the hand-foot mouth disease?
Oh, that's terrible.
What the hell, man?
My wife couldn't believe it because she's a preschool teacher, so she deals with that shit all the time, and she was freaking out. Like,
you watched it with the dude,
but it's also crazy because none of his teammates even knew.
Your wife watch it with you?
Yeah, I make her.
What a good girl. My one's gone.
What? It makes it harder for me because, okay, now we've watched it. Now, okay, I want to watch it, but now she's not here down to watch it, so now I got to fucking wait for her to watch it.
It's like me in golf. I can't golf.
Careful what you wish for there, Ronaldo.
I get it.
I think there's a secret trade-off there, David, where now she's going to make him watch like Real Housewives of whatever or something, and he's got to sit through it.
She doesn't have to make me watch anything unless there's a game on. She usually has the TV because I'm usually doing something on the computer, working on something, doing something. But I'm one of those husbands that you might see him like on the TikToks or on Instagram. It's like we walk. What the fuck you watch? This is stupid. You just keep watching, and all of a sudden, wait, who's that? Wait, I thought they died. And then she's like trying to explain. I don't care. I don't care. You don't gotta explain to me. Wait, what the fuck? It's like I'm one of those. No,
I have seen you on TikTok, sir.
I have too. TikTok.
Keith is about to get updates on Love in Atlanta.
Keith says, "Follow me for more social media advice."
I'm trying to get some damn advice.
Yeah, buddy.
He rocks it, man.
All right. Well, we are 49 days away from kickoff 2024. Getting closer. I think Fish said it best in his little quote right there. This is the last month without football. So, I mean, preseason is going to be coming around. So, I mean, it's almost football season. The casuals are going to start coming out, guys. Like,
yeah, baby. I'm ready.
This is our 28th week of doing this. But the casuals will be coming soon. So, 49 days away. And we like to highlight the players that have wore the numbers. And that's number 49. And not many have worn the number 49 for the Vikings. I don't know if many have worn 49 for many teams. The biggest name that I could find that wore 49 was Ed Marinero. And when I was a kid, I always thought he was a really good running back. Like, I thought he was like a star. And then as I got older and realized, man, he didn't even play that long. He really wasn't that good. What do you mean he was in soap operas? Like, and then I started learning about him. Like, he was actually more of an actor than a football player.
Way more. The Italian Stallion, though, man. He's my boy. Ed Marinero.
Made a hell of a spaghetti sauce, too.
Yeah, you know he did.
Skol, Alex.
Did you ever see him play, Ronaldo?
Yeah, he was kind of a nothing. He was like a backup running back. I mean, he was a big dude, and I think he hit the line hard. You know what I mean? It's a high draft pick. I think they had a lot more in store for him than he gave. He was kind of a bust, to be honest with you. Yeah.
He only played like 4 seasons, maybe 5.
Yeah, but he didn't have a lot of carries either. I mean, the dude wasn't like, he really didn't do much as a Viking. I think he had a good college career.
Blue Mountain State.
No, I wasn't in Hill Street Blues. Wasn't he in Hill Street Blues?
I don't know. I seen him in Blue Mountain State, and I didn't even know it was him at first until I was watching for a while. Then all of a sudden, like, getting into the show. It's a funny, stupid comedy about like college football, and he's the head coach.
Oh my god!
So I go and start looking up, like, oh, who are all these people? What else are they in? Ed Marinero? What? That's Ed Marinero? He's the head coach. Like, I don't know if you would recognize him if you just seen it. Well, maybe you would if you saw him do the draft paper where he's all drunk and talking for 5 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he looked like that.
I've seen that. Yeah.
If you guys haven't watched Blue Mountain State and you like stupid comedy, that's one of those ones that you throw on when the wife's gone to bed, you've had a few beers, and you just want to throw something on the TV, you'll laugh. You haven't seen it, Cody?
Nope, not a single episode.
Not really shocked.
I mean, I've heard about Blue Mountain State. I do like the league a lot, so if I like the league, I'm pretty sure I'll probably enjoy Blue Mountain State. I just have to get on it. Is it on Netflix?
Street Blues.
Yeah, it's on either Netflix or Hulu.
Okay.
So
Cody says, "I'm too busy training people to become killers."
Yeah.
We ain't got time for that.
Hill Street Blues. I never watched. I never got into like Blues.
Hill Street. As a real quick aside, Hill Street Blues was like one of the first police death story kind of ongoing things. You know what I mean? It's like the one. What do the chicks watch all the time now? The one that's been on TV for a million years.
Law and Order.
Yeah, Law and Order. It was very much a Law and Order kind of thing, and it was like one of the first that. It was a trendsetter in that regard, and Ed Marinero had a pretty big spot on that.
I mean, or so I've heard, Rinaldi, because if the chicks are the ones that are watching, I'm not watching.
Well, I think you are, my friend. I think you just outed yourself a little bit.
Marinero has kind of like the similar stats as Ty Chandler does. I'm looking at it.
Give me him. Throw him up there, baby. What do you got? What did he do?
I mean, he averaged 3.2 yards a carry for his career. He had 6 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Solo.
So
that's how I remember him.
His whole career was like Chandler's season.
Yeah.
Right.
Who does he sit behind? Who did he sit behind?
It was like the mid to early 70s. So it was like it was Foreman, Osborne, that crew of guys. And he was, he ran into the line hard and he blocked hard. That's what he did. That's kind of what he was. And he was like, he didn't even get whole series, as I recall. You just see him like randomly at the line rush for short yardage. He was a short yardage back when there was such a thing.
Alexander Madison, kind of.
Yeah.
Or maybe more Leroy Horde.
There you go, Leroy Horde. He was more of a Leroy Horde, I'd say.
Yeah.
Or Matt Asiata.
Invaluable, though. Like that, there was no confusion about who he was or what he did, and he did it well.
Ooh, College Football Hall of Famer.
I think he had a really good college career. Toby Gerhart, how about that? That's probably his best comparison.
Yeah,
that's probably a good one.
Yeah.
Like just from what I've looked up and seen and watching Toby Gerhart, I was super excited when we got him, even though I felt like we didn't need a damn running back. I was like,
at the time we didn't.
Yeah. I was like, this is gonna be awesome. Yeah,
1-2 punch didn't happen.
I wonder if he would have done better if he would have started somewhere else without having AP with him.
You'd almost think so, right?
For like the Browns or something.
Yeah.
Now my mouse isn't working, so that's gonna suck.
Come on, mouse.
Second round pick. He would have been a first round pick in today's draft. Then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vikings introduced a new member to the Ring of Honor, or they're going to do it this season. They announced they're going to do it. We talked about this a few weeks ago, and we named a lot of players that we thought should be in that aren't in. And that was like Antoine Winfield, Chad Greenway, Robert Smith. We even went back to Anthony Carter, which still blows my mind that Anthony Carter is not in the Ring of Honor. But on Tuesday, they announced that this year's inductee will be Bobby Bryant, cornerback. Now, he played just a little bit before my time. He retired in 1980 as his last season. I was born in 82, so I just missed him. But Renal, did you ever get to see him play?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, the dude had – I'm not going to – I'll let you guys go over his numbers. He was a Hall of Fame porn mustache guy. Let's start with that. That mustache was Hall of Fame worthy right there. So it's been an egregious snub for him not to be in the Ring of Honor just for the mustache alone. But the reality is, for me, the dude is, he was like 6'1", skinny, like 175 pounds, but he still hit like a freight train. And was a ball hawk. You could put him out on the best guy on the other team, and he would be what we would consider today, before they even talked about it, a shutdown corner. He was that good. The problem with Bobby Bryant, and the reason that and I don't think this is news to anybody, but the reason I think it took so long for him at 70 whatever years old he is, I think he's like 71 or something, right? He deserves to be in at this point because he played on such a great team. He got overlooked, right? I mean, Paul Krause is the other guy in the backfield. You got the 4 best defensive linemen in history on the line. You're not going to talk about Bobby Bryant on these shutdown defenses that the Vikings had that went to 4 Super Bowls, which he did. I'll also say this. Ring of Honor inductees should all – I think the one criteria that's overlooked is that they are Vikings. And you know what Bobby Bryant was? A Viking for every year of his career. He started a Viking and retired a Viking. That is a Ring of Honor inductee worthy kind of guy. Last thing I'll say about him, he could run too. Like he had a lot of touchdowns, but even in college, he ran back a 94-yard punt return. So he had skill. He was an athlete. I'll shut up, let you guys talk about it, but that's how I remember Bobby Bryant, and he could hit.
And he was a Des Moines Warrior.
Yeah, he was.
On the map. Let's go. I see a kind of a trend here. He's part of the Vikings 40th anniversary team, 25th anniversary team, and he's a Vikings top 50 greatest players of all time in the Vikings history. So you might be seeing a lot of inductees that get in the Ring of Honor that have to hit those criteria before they even get into the Ring of Honor, I think.
Well, as you're running out of space in the building.
when I first saw it, I was a little disappointed because like all the players that we went over, and we just did this a couple weeks ago, so I was excited to see one of our players hit. So when I saw it was Bobby Bryant, the guy that I didn't watch playing, oh man, that's bullshit. How are they gonna slide Winfield like that? What about Anthony Carter and all this? And Ronaldo set me straight pretty quick. And he's like, you know what? Let me handle this. I'm gonna school you guys. So he didn't tell us what he's gonna say, but he came on here and he certainly did school us. And yeah, just doing a little bit of research, watching these videos. Looks like it's well deserved. It took a little long for it to happen. It just kind of makes me wonder how many more of these guys are out there that I never really watched that are ahead of these guys that I think should be in the Ring of Honor. Like guys like Winfield, they might have to wait till they're 70.
They might. Yeah, they might.
Well, the reality of it is that in the late 60s, when we were winning NFL championships before the Super Bowl era, and in the 70s, we were just so dominant in the NFC. The team was so good. There's a lot of players that are just great players in the era that are we're eventually going to have to cycle through. They're going to have to get their recognition. I mean, when you look at this guy, and like you said, Keith, after Ronaldo set you straight, it's like, man, yeah, I mean, Winfield's got to wait because, I mean, there are so many good players, especially in our Super Bowl runs, where you're just going to have to get to them, and you're going to have to get to them first. They're in the front of the line. Hopefully, they're still alive.
That's the thing right there. Hopefully, they're still alive. I think that out of everything else is the reason he should go in before anybody right now. He's still alive. Let the guy enjoy it, and he deserves to be there. I think it's great. Good for him. I'm excited for the day he gets in.
Did he play some safety too? It looked like with that Paul Krause interception when he tossed it back.
I don't think so. I think he just played corner.
I think he was a legit cornerback, but yeah, I would think if they went to nickel or something, dude, I think that's kind of more what it looked like. You know what I mean?
Like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, like I was disappointed. It wasn't any of the guys that I was familiar with, but after like doing some research on him and watching his highlights and it kind of made me mad. Like, what the hell? Why wasn't he there before?
And just
screw you, Jared Allen, right? What is Jared Allen going in before this guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that.
Just reading the stats and him paired up with Paul Krause, I'm surprised that you don't.
Oh yeah.
Look at that stash. Look at that fucking
handlebar.
I'm surprised you don't see them as the Vikings having one of the top DB rooms in the NFL in history. Like just looking at his stats and him paired up with Paul Krause. Like I haven't seen a top DB room in NFL history that even has Bobby Bryant mentioned. So
right,
very, very what's the word I'm looking for here? He's very not noticed, you'll say like that. And he deserves this, I think, just on that factor alone.
Yeah, but think about the NFL in general. Think about a 70s cornerback. I don't know they're going to be someone. I'm just like, I don't think the cornerback came into vogue until after the 70s for whatever reason. Like the shutdown corner. People don't talk about, I'm trying to think, Dallas cornerbacks, Miami quarterbacks, Pittsburgh quarterbacks, right?
Raiders.
70s I can't think of too many of them. There's Raiders. I think the Raiders would be the one you'd go after. There's a couple on the Raiders that were pretty crazy, like Harris or whoever. But cornerbacks, yeah. But cornerbacks weren't like the valued position that it is today. And I think that's part of what's going on with Bryant too, to be honest with you. But the dude,
have we had a white cornerback since him?
There it is.
Not one with 51 to do
it.
I mean, it might have been Bobby Bryant, nobody, Jason Sehorn, and then nobody.
Hey, I wish we had Bobby Bryant today instead of a Caleb Evans. We'll say.
Is it a conspiracy?
Here we go.
Is it a conspiracy that Bobby Bryant is from Iowa and this new kid that got drafted this year is from Iowa?
Eugene?
I mean,
it's not only tight end university, baby. We developed some corners.
Skol, Zo.
What's up, Zo? You guys should check out his podcast, In the Zone. It's on YouTube. He's on it all day, every day. Got some great quick hits and other stuff. Hit him up, In the Zone. All right. Now let's get into it. I'm surprised that nobody's even said it in the comments yet. Let's talk about Jordan Addison. Let's just do it. I honestly feel like from the initial reports to right now that it's kind of died down a little bit. It's kind of gotten a little bit weaker. I mean, it's still a very serious thing, and very serious things could have happened. But like, I do feel like the heat's kind of dying, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, like he's gonna be suspended for the whole season, or they're gonna trade this guy. And I started like thinking the worst immediately. And I've kind of calmed down since then. But what did you guys think when you first saw the headline, Jordan Addison arrested, DUI, blah, blah, blah?
I was the first one in our chat, getting ready for the show, that threw it up there, I think. And what I saw with him on the side of the road, not even on the side, in a lane, on the road, in a Bentley, asleep. I got to be honest, man. I was like, this is not good, right? And that's not drunk to me. That's like fentied out. I think that was your comment, Keith. It's like the dude was like fentied out. And I'm not so sure that's not really going to be the story when it all comes down to it. He may have eaten something that wasn't exactly what he thought it was, and that doesn't make it better or worse or whatever. But it ain't pretty, no matter how you look at it. To take that idea, that's my first impression. But to take the idea that you have to like put project this onto our leadership. Man, I don't know that I dig on that idea so much. And that's really where the topic went. It's the kid that did a dumb thing. Let's leave it on him. Let's not make this about our freaking leadership. Come on, man. I don't buy any of that.
It's the off season and they're adults. If they could have them supervised every day, have practice every day, and have control of them, they would.
Yeah, 100%.
Or you can hold your players accountable.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure KOC said that during a
but see, that was about fumbling, Cody.
Thing on fumbles, and he didn't hold anyone accountable. He kept those players in the game, and they still fucking fumbled the football. Right? It's about holding players accountable, especially after the Kyrie Jackson incident. You come out and you get a DUI when the guy just died from a DUI. That it's ridiculous, in my opinion. You were at an airport. I get it. I'm pretty sure there's like 3 or 4 levels worth of fucking parking lot that you can park your car in. You don't have to pass out in the middle of a fucking exit freeway. I'm sorry. A DUI is a DUI at the end of the day. Right? Yep. You are an adult. You have a fucking brain. Use it. You are on a platform. People look up to you. All right, especially the young kids look up to you. They think, okay, that's okay to do now because I'm rich and I'm a fucking wide receiver in the NFL. I think it's ridiculous.
Well, first of all, I don't think that you've seen how much parking is at the airports these days. I wouldn't want to go there either. But all right, so as a player, I'm not ready to be done with him. I hope that his off the field issues can get squared away. He can get, he can get set straight, and he can get the distractions out. And last year he had that distraction, and what did he do? Mm-hmm. So maybe we can start getting rid. But I will say this moving forward, that if a player is coming out of college and has a tendency to make any sort of hand gestures revolving around money, let's err on the side of caution and let somebody else take him. And to Johnny Manziel, I'm just saying.
I'm having a hard time.
I would like to see. So I'm not saying get rid of Jordan Addison, but I want to see leadership come down with something, right? You don't want the NFL to come down first. You want the team to come down first. And I want you to hold your players accountable, right? It's like in the Army. You get in trouble in the Army, you are going to be the poster child for that thing that you got in trouble for. All right.
I think it'd be a great step up moment for Justin Jefferson.
Well, I'm just hold him accountable for what he just did. I make him think, I shouldn't probably do that again, or I'm going to lose playing time or money.
Yeah, but I'm just saying right now, JJ's been in the league for 4 years. How old is he now? Is he like 25, 26? He's been in the league for 4 years. He's established. He's the face of the franchise and all that stuff. This would be a great opportunity for him to actually demonstrate leadership with one of his peers, his teammates in his position, and help the kids straighten out.
I think that's probably happening. We just haven't heard about it.
What up, Leonard?
Leonard,
What's up, fellas? How's it going?
what do we do with that?
Addison. So, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it was stupid. As soon as I saw it, I was so disappointed. I was like, this is just ridiculous. Like, what the fuck? We just lost a player, and then this happens. And I was like, I immediately started second guessing the pick. Like, was it a good pick? Is this going to end bad? It's going to be like other players that we've drafted, and they're constantly getting in trouble. Like, I don't know.
Did he have issues before? Because I don't remember ever hearing about having any kind of off the field issues. So it's like I would have a hard time blaming the team. Like if this guy was clean his whole life and all of a sudden he's like wilding out.
I mean, did Ontario Smith have a history before the Wizinator?
Dude, Ontario Smith right now would have been nothing. They're like, oh, he had a fake dick. All right, we got a game in him.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying though, like, you know.
Usually
I didn't see that coming.
Usually, what happens with kids that don't get in trouble for their whole life, or they're inside, like let's say that inner city where money is like not existent to them, and then they finally get the money, they just don't know how to use said money, and that's what gets them in trouble.
You know what the best part of this whole incident is? Is Cody putting in our group chat, any Viking news coming up? Me looking on the page, seeing the very first posting of this and sharing it over to the group post, and all these guys going, "You've got to be shitting me."
I did it twice.
Right.
Yes.
Robbie, Aaron Hernandez has issues that wasn't known. No, I think his issues were known. He was like investigated for murder before he was drafted.
Yeah, he was
Who's that?
Hernandez.
I don't know what Robbie's trying to compare Jordan Addison to Aaron Hernandez right now.
People disappeared around Hernandez in college.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. He had murder investigations. It was a wild draft pick, but I still don't think anybody ever blamed Belichick for it, for drafting him.
How do you park in a freeway?
See, I actually need to see this. I need to see a picture of the car because, like, did he just like lump out, like, or did he stop there and say this is a good spot, or did he actually try to pull over to the side and maybe he was mostly over to the side and he was, still kind of blocking the road, which it's all bad either way, but I like the details. I want to know. Like, I want to see, was he really asleep? Was he just kind of, I need to know everything.
And exactly where was his dog while this was going on?
His dog at the time.
Let me park my 6-figure vehicle in the middle of the street.
What happened to the Porsche? He was
upgraded
voice now. Like, I got questions that haven't been answered.
The fact that we don't know and there's no video and no real story tells me they're sweeping this thing under the rug. Whether they
going away because he didn't get charged anything. He got a cite and release, which means it's going to go to court. His lawyer's going to eat the case, and he's going to get something stupid like maybe reckless driving, which isn't stupid, but he's not going to get what he did.
Yeah, he won't get what he did, but the NFL or the team will come down on it before that conviction even comes out. I find it funny that if it was like a shitty Honda Civic or something in the middle of a freeway, like it'd be like the cop like, oh, just another day in LA. But no, it's just this Bentley just parked in the freeway, and it's like just imagine the cop's thoughts, like, what the fuck is going on?
Some dude on his way to his third shift job is like, look at that car.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So, do you guys think he's going to get a suspension no matter what? I mean, that's evident. Like, do you think it ends up being like he missed the first game, he's going to miss 4 games, he's going to miss half the season? Like,
I think if you look at Wes Phillips, how he got in trouble for a DUI, I mean, that is part of leadership, right? So if you're going to punish leadership and a player comes down with the same conviction of a DUI, you got to punish him the same way.
So they'll wait till the offseason and then suspend him for 3 weeks during the offseason? Because that's what they did. That's what they did.
You got Kevin O'Connell as head coach and OC. He's the one running the plays.
Right. But I'm saying, if you're saying give him the same punishment as Wes didn't get any punishment until the season was over, then he wasn't allowed to be at the freaking practices for 3 weeks during the offseason. Jefferson wasn't there either.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to hold your leadership accountable too, and you punish them the same as you would punish your leadership, that's
what I'm saying. So you want
I would hope they would.
And Jordan Addison during the offseason to do the same.
Yeah. Give him what we call an Article 15 army, fucking 45 days and 45 days worth of no pay. Get 45 his ass.
I heard that Netflix is going to edit his parts out of the Receiver show, and that's going to be his punishment. He won't be getting royalties. Now, more importantly, the question is if the team or the league does anything, will it fix him? And historically speaking, I don't know that if anybody has a legitimate problem, if that type of punishment actually really does anything.
I mean, time will tell. I mean, that's the only thing we can do. It's just, do it and wait and see. But
yeah. I mean, Joe Mixon got punished and he went out and did the same goddamn thing again. So, I mean, if you do it once, you're probably going to do it again.
Yeah. But that's why I think you have to do it to show everybody else that it's not above.
Yeah.
So, football wise now, I'm not afraid to talk about this too soon, but football wise, do you think that the Vikings need to make like a roster move to kind of make up for this? I mean, they're already down TJ Hawkinson. We were already looking at kind of trying to improve wide receiver 3. Now you're talking maybe our wide receiver 2 misses a quarter of the season. Should they be looking at some of these free agents? Like, I mean, the only 2 I see out there is Michael Thomas and Hunter Renfrow. And do either of those guys do anything for you?
No.
Just sit it out. This is going to be a down year. Let it ride.
Brandon Powell, baby.
You don't even got Hawks.
Brandon Powell, wide receiver 2. Come on.
Yep.
No, not a fucking chance.
I mean, we're going to be having those JJ taking the double coverage and then Brandon Powell. Yeah.
Without Addison and TJ, it's going to be 4 guys covering Jefferson and then everybody else.
Yeah, it ain't going to be Addison ain't going anywhere in 24 is my prediction. They're gonna wait and see. They're gonna tap the brakes and see what the law says, and they're gonna hold it off until they can, until they possibly can. And if he gets any kind of suspension, it'll probably be in 25. To be honest with you, that's my take on it.
Well, I think the NFL can come down with the suspension before they even say guilty or not guilty.
Well, I don't know. Ronaldo makes a point though, because Kamara, he got in trouble and he didn't get his suspension until way later because they had to wait for all the legal stuff to go through. So right now, I mean, Addison has, he's got a date in court. He's not like in trouble for anything yet. He's got to go to court.
Yeah,
last I knew,
they wait for court.
Look, I know that none of it looks good, but last I knew, you're innocent until proven guilty, no matter what. So,
amen, brother.
Mm-hmm. But what I'm afraid of, let's say, like if they don't suspend him now, and then 2025 comes up, and they find out he is guilty as fuck, and the suspension becomes even more harsh.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But
ideally speaking, when we're out of the playoffs by the end of the season, just suspend him for the last 4 games and just be done.
There you go.
I was trying to look at other situations, and it seems like a lot of time with alcohol-related things, even DUIs, it ends up being like a 3-game suspension. Like that's the floor.
Yeah.
And I don't think it usually doesn't go much higher than that, especially for like the first offense.
What about marijuana?
That's a new thing, Cody. And that's going to be a hard thing because like they say the car smelled like marijuana, but to be able to say that he was actually high, that's a hard thing to prove. Like there's no like alcohol blowing. Like
I don't know how
you either have to stab him or make him pee in a cup. I mean,
or you can pluck his hairs out.
Right, but you do all that and like, yeah, I smoked fucking last week. Like how you can say that I was smoking before I
wonder if they found anything.
Without a shadow of a doubt, I was smoking, and that's.
I think your blood. I think it's different in your blood system.
Unless they found something in the car.
If only Shaq would get on the call, so that way he who greets with smoke can give his professional opinion.
What do you mean in the car? They could have found a brick of weed. Doesn't mean he was smoking it.
Right.
Well, if there's a roach in the thing, you could put 2 together, and you could probably make a fucking guilty verdict out of that.
I don't know.
Not in California, eh?
I don't know. He could probably afford a really good lawyer to make people see otherwise. That's what I wanted to see what the lawyer does, but I also want to know the truth.
I want to know the truth too. There's
Okay,
more to
we got
the
a way
story.
to do.
Let's just see the police
You're
footage,
never
right?
going to know the truth. We're never going to know.
Let's see that dash cam. Let's see what the police officer pulls up on, right?
I bet there's a burnt
Oh, we
hole.
lost that footage.
I bet there's a burnt hole in his seat, laying down underneath the fucking gas pedal.
Dude, you know what? They probably.
How would you know that,
called
Cody?
it in.
How would you know that, my friend?
Because look, this didn't come out till like Sunday, and it happened on Friday. So they probably called it in. Oh, we got this white Rolls Royce parked in the middle of the freeway. This and that, blah. And they get him down the station. Like, oh shit, it's Jordan Addison from USC. Oh fuck! Now the cover up starting because he was kind of a legend out here playing for USC, and the cop might have been a USC fan, didn't know who he was, and now they're starting to cover it up because it's just real weird how it's all going down. Like if it was a DUI, you're parking in the freeway. Most of us aren't getting sent home that night.
Well, did he go down to the police station or zero?
They took him down, and it was a cite and release. Like someone came and picked him up, and he'll get a court date.
He really needed to do that in Pittsburgh, where he won the Biletnikoff Award. He could have they wouldn't have even reported it.
And I would be weird. I'd be kind of scared what the NFL says too, because it's a new rule that they're allowed to, smoke marijuana, right, over in the off season, right? It's this new rule, and it's like, okay, you just ruined this for everybody, or you kind of slipped up. Now, I mean, this is a brand new rule. No one has got punishment yet for this one rule that's brand new. We kind of have to make you as the poster child.
But again, it might not even be marijuana. It might be something else, man. They could even take pills or something. Like, we don't know.
That's the thing. You really don't know the story. You don't know what happened. You just don't.
Someone knows it, and someone's paying some money. Like, hey, don't let this get out.
Do you think that Adam Thielen's been hanging around the facilities a little more this week? Hey, guys.
What's his Instagram look like? What's it look like?
Speaking of Instagram, Addison took down the Viking stuff. Probably didn't look good for him. And guess what he did? He put it back up. I got a feeling they had a conversation. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah.
I can picture that. They called him into the office. They're like, dude, look at this. And they showed him our TikTok of us talking about it. They're like, this is not a good look. Let Skol's talking about it, guys. So everybody's seeing this. Go ahead and put that stuff back on your account. And then he did. And then I looked like the asshole because there's like, his stuff's still on his Instagram. I was like, motherfucker, it wasn't 12 hours ago when I posted this.
I gave him like a little plan of action. Like, hey, you want to be on this team, this is what you need to start doing.
Let me tell you something. The only person who's going to be doing this passive-aggressive shit is us in the coaching room.
Yeah.
So you guys think that either way, even if he gets suspended, like they're just going to ride it out with what they got? You don't think that there's a more dire need to sign a free agent or maybe swing a trade for like a Adam Thielen or Tyler Lockett?
I always thought they needed a wide receiver 3. I am not down with our wide receiver 3 situation at the moment. So I wouldn't mind seeing them find an insurance policy depending on how they feel this thing's going to go down. And as a result, end up with a wide receiver 3 that makes more sense than what we got on the roster, because I do not love what we have on the roster. So it is what it is.
That's why I like Michael Thomas, because he can play the 2 for a couple games, but you don't want him being dependent on that for a whole season because we know maybe he won't hold up. But then you slide him down to the wide receiver 3, let him do a slant thing. I like it. That's the direction I go. Or if we can get Thielen for like a 6th-round pick that turns into a 7th rounder if he doesn't get 500 yards. Like, I'll do that. I'll pay Thielen $8 million to be wide receiver 3.
Hell yeah.
I see it as a down year, and like to me, in a down year, you ride it out, right? Because you're not getting Hawkinson back until November, and now but desperate teams that are like viewed as media as 4th in the division, they're going to do something. It always happens. Like they always bring in somebody else, and what happens is you're just a 7 to 9 win team at the end of the time. So
I can't.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
I can't think it's a down year. It doesn't matter. No, I just can't. I can't get there.
I was just thinking that if we were, say, a 10 or 12 win team that would contest for the playoffs, yeah, we'd find somebody. But we're not. We're a 7 or 8 win team. We don't need to chase bad medicine with good money.
Yeah,
Just let it happen.
Use that money and go get sign Darasol in week 16 or 17.
Okay, but let's say they win 5 to 6 games, and Kwesi and KOC are now going into their 4th year, their 4-year contract with no guarantees beyond that.
What's wrong? What?
Time out. Can I finish? Do you think that they're thinking this season, oh, it's just a down year, and we've had this happen, so it's okay if we don't make the playoffs? Like, I don't think so.
That's what I'm going to yell. There's no chance that this team thinks that they're a 5 or 7 or 9 win team. There is no chance. There's no chance of that. That's not how football teams operate, man. That's a ridiculous statement. It's not how it works. And by the way, anybody wants to bet me, I'll give you 3-1 odds that we win more than 3 games. I'll give you 5-1 odds that we win more than 3 games.
Well, you said it perfectly. No team thinks that. That's why when they're sitting in the 4th place in the division, they do something desperate and grab a player.
Okay, but this was to answer Fish's question. He's saying that we're not going to go after a wide receiver 3 because they're not expecting to be a good team. And I disagree. I think they are expecting to be a good team, and now they're expecting that they're going to have a hole to fill that could be the wide receiver 2, but then drop down to the wide receiver 3.
I mean,
oh, you guys are nuts. Hold on just a second. Yeah. They're going to get up on that podium and they're going to say, yeah, we're going to do great, and this is our guy and all that stuff, and they're going to paint that rosy picture because their jobs will depend on that. But if they're true in their evaluation of the talent that they have, they're going to say, oh, well, yeah, it is kind of stacked up against us. This is going to be kind of difficult. I mean, that's why teams realize, hey, I'm in the playoff race. I should make a splash trade or a free agent during the trade deadline and go for it. But you're either a buyer or a seller. And what I'm telling you right now is this year, if they're doing a true, honest reflection this year with everything that's stacking up against us, they're going to say, we're not a Super Bowl team.
What's stacked up against them, Fish, is their contract is running out. And if they don't show something to why they should be kept around, then they're not going to get extended.
I thought Jordan. I thought JJ
McCarthy. The best way to try to win.
The only reason they get kept around is JJ McCarthy touches the field this year.
I thought JJ McCarthy was their extension. What happened, fellas? Wait, I thought
usually
JJ McCarthy
for a guy to be your extension, they got to be on your roster.
They got to show progression. Your first round pick has to a quarterback in the first round has to show progression. If he doesn't even touch the field in 2025. Oh, towards the end of the year, 2024. Yeah, Kwesi and KOC's in trouble.
Yeah, if it's a bad year, and
how is that even a thing, though? I mean, what in what world is he not touching the field in 2025? What makes you even come up with that idea? I mean, it's great to have a maybe or a hypothetical. We could talk about it, and I'm great with that. But what evidence do you have that's like leading you to believe that that's happening? I have nothing anywhere saying that.
I mean, you never know. I mean, he could still start the season as the third string quarterback. I mean,
and he could start the season as the first string quarterback. You never know.
Yeah, I understand.
He just has to touch the field.
So since we're kind of talking it, like the next thing I was going to ask you guys is like, we lost. So to start the season, we lost our starting quarterback. We lost Daniil Hunter, 2 big pieces. That's the way this season started. Then we overpaid for a wide receiver luxury position, which as good as he is. And then we had Kyrie, what happened with him. Now Addison. Like, it just seems like this offseason's been pretty bad. Like, is this season already doomed in your guys' minds? I think in Fish's, it is. Or maybe I'm misreading it.
I was a 7-win guy before Kyrie passed and before this extra bit of – let's just, the league is so competitive and things are so razor close that anything can really screw you up. Any sort of chaos or turmoil can really just dismantle a team. It's so close. That's why they say it's a game of inches. So, think about all this. Well, Hawkinson's injured and won't come back till whenever. And, just trying to deal with this. And then you think, well, our 4th-round cornerback that we're probably counting on to be a pretty good contributor, if not a starter in our secondary, passed away. And now this kid, and it's like, man, if unless things can get on that razor's edge, and even then, I mean, even on the razor's edge, there's just so much. let me just tell you something. We were to pull off a 9 or 10 win season, you'd be hearing me shouting KOC should be coach of the year after all the stuff that's happened this offseason.
Yeah.
He could rally the troops like that. By God, coach of the year.
I'd almost say if JJ McCarthy or Dallas Turner do not do anything like they're expected to do this year, i.e. touch the field or go over like you have a productive year as a rookie at edge this year, right? Then I think KOC and Kwesi are going to be in trouble because we don't have a second, third, fourth, or fifth round pick next year. We didn't have a second, third. We lost our fourth round pick this year. That's 2 straight years of a lot of middle round picks that just gone, right? And I think they're going to be in trouble because of this. If JJ McCarthy doesn't either touch the field or Dallas Turner doesn't do what he's supposed to be expected to do as a rookie first round pick. Because of how much draft pick we lost.
You started to say something, but you didn't quite get to saying it. You said before, the Kyrie and the Addison thing, you had them as a 7-win team. Has that changed?
No. I still see them as a 7-win team because what I saw for the wins and losses was pretty definitive in my mind. There would have to be something remarkable that would change me. All I'm saying is if we're going to have Sam Darnold as our quarterback in the most important position and we're going to have the pieces that we have, I still see us as a 7-win team because the teams that we will beat, we should be able to beat so long as something major doesn't happen. So no, I don't see Addison possibly being suspended a few games changing that. But, I'm still there. I'm not ready to say we're a 4-win team now.
Coach, you get 10 yet?
The what? No, I went from 7 to 9. Now with all the shit that happened, I'm down to a 7 again.
7 wins? That's where you're at?
Yeah.
And Shaq, I still say if Nick Mullins starts, we're a 9-win team, buddy.
Well, you kind of need him to start since you said he's going to start week 1.
I did, didn't I?
I mean, the stuff that's happened this offseason definitely doesn't bode well for us. I don't know how many other teams have lost a player or a coach before the start of the season or before the start of training camp or in training camp in league history. We've had 3 this century. I don't know. Every time we do it, we don't have a good season, and I understand why. But I was at 10. I'm at around 8 now, just because of all that shit. It's a 2-game swing, man. It's a big swing, in my opinion. It takes a lot out of them. They got a lot on their minds.
And someone's going to get a chance that wasn't going to get a chance.
I get it, but it still takes a lot out of you.
I hear that, but you can also galvanize around it.
Yeah.
Well, Corey Evans needs to show me something.
Maybe it's tough, man. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not trying to say that
I hope you feel
way worse without a 4th-round quarterback.
I'm gonna win on that Booth is getting cut thing.
I think I want Booth over Caleb. I ain't gonna lie, but
with Jackson passing, Booth is definitely not getting cut.
Yeah,
I see Booth staying on the team now.
He's gonna.
There's no way they can cut him.
I think it's between Caleb and Booth, and because I like McGlothern a lot, and those 3 are the ones that are going to fight for that 5th cornerback position.
And Booth is going to lose.
I think Booth should make the team.
Booth makes the team. He plays special teams too.
Well, two out of the 3 can't make the team. So,
your Evans thing is still in play. If I had to pick right now, would I rather than keep Booth or Evans? I would keep Booth.
Me too.
So we're saying we're only keeping 5 corners?
Well,
yes,
so I don't know if maybe there's something we don't know. Maybe he's an asshole. Maybe he doesn't listen, or maybe he's not the right build for what Flores wants. But when I saw him play, I never yelled at him. I know he didn't play a lot, but I wasn't like, why is Booth still out there? Why is Booth out there? Look that's why he shouldn't be out there. There wasn't none of that. They weren't even throwing to his side of the field because he was locking down his man. So I was like, I want to see more. And, maybe it was just because he didn't play a lot. He looked good. But I want to see more of that. And Evans looked good his rookie year, but after the concussions, and I'm not going to say that has anything to do with it, last year he didn't look great. He didn't look good even.
I think I yelled at Booth one time. It was during the first game of the year in 22 when Christian Watkins dropped that wide open bomb at Burn Booth.
Well, I mean, that was against Peterson, but also I don't know why you're yelling at Booth. But yeah,
It was against Booth.
That was against Peterson, boy.
No, that was against Booth.
I will bet you everything in your house that it was Peterson.
Christian Watkins versus Booth.
Does anybody want to in the chat or on the screen want to freaking tell?
I don't remember. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch that play.
The first game of the year, 2022. Watson.
I didn't see that play. It was the first play of the game. I didn't see it. Yeah, I didn't see it. I was doing something. I got home to watch the rest of the game, but yeah.
I mean, it's been replayed.
Are we sure it wasn't Brashad Breeland? Because it feels like a Brashad Breeland moment. Just saying.
No, I don't think it was. I thought it was Peterson.
Cody's pulling it up. I can see it. I can see that look in his eye.
That hat. Go ahead, put it in a box. My address. Send that shit.
He's looking it up, man. I can see that look in his
eye.
He knows.
Keith, what are you doing asking for a hat, man? You got enough hats. Ask for something different.
I need a hat.
Oh, it was against Pearson. Who else did he give it up to? Let me just type Andrew Booth gets burned.
Well, I don't come that confident if I don't know it. I rarely come like that because I'm not that confident.
I remember just watching him getting spun around as dudes were releasing off the line against him in that rookie season, and I was like, oh, God.
I think you guys are thinking about the preseason, his rookie season, because that was pretty bad. I don't remember, like, in the regular season, him ever really getting much of a chance. I think the Cowboy game he might have got into, and everybody looked bad that game.
Well, he came in with a hamstring injury, though. We drafted him with a hamstring problem.
And that maybe, but like he looked bad in preseason. And then the only game I remember him playing was against the Cowboys, and that's because we were getting killed. And I honestly don't remember if he did well or not well, but everybody sucked.
Everybody was killed. Darisaw got smacked by Parsons. Like, I'm out, bro. This dude's way too good. I'm out here. Good luck, Brandel.
So
tagging out
with the season, we lost our quarterback, we lost Daniil, we paid the wide receiver a lot of money. Kyrie died, rest in peace. Addison's getting in trouble. We still haven't signed either of our first round picks that we were so excited about.
That's another thing.
Training camp starts on the 21st. If they're not signed, they cannot participate in training camp, which 21st is, I believe, on Sunday.
I fucking knew it.
So
Shaq gets an X.
Oh yeah, Shaq did say that they'd be signed by our next show, and that did not happen unless it happened while we were on. Does anybody know? No, it has not happened. So, are you guys getting at all worried that neither of them are signed? Fish?
No, I'm not overly concerned about it. It'll happen. I think maybe. I mean. It might be there if they just stay in hardball. Maybe the Vikings will say, okay. I mean, most of the league does what the guys are asking for, right? This is just a Vikings policy.
As far as what we heard, the reasoning is because I wasn't too worried either until I saw, well, Caleb Williams already got signed and our guy hasn't been signed. So is our guy given a bigger problem than Caleb Williams? What is McCarthy asking for? Caleb Williams asking them to make it a loan, what was it, a forgiven loan or something like that, so he doesn't get taxed on it. Mm-hmm. Like he was asking for some weird shit.
What is
our guy's not signed, and Caleb is.
What is McCarthy looking for? Fully guaranteed right off the first year.
He wants all of his
their
bonus.
Contracts are already like set in stone. Like so, they're looking. They might be looking for some extras. Like he wants a freaking private plane to every game. I don't know. Like it's like extras. Like the money's already set. The biggest thing that we've heard was that the Vikings like to spread the signing bonus over years, and supposedly no, he wants that signing bonus all up front, which a lot of teams do.
How big is that signing bonus going to be?
Like 18 million.
It's somewhere in that range.
And what is that?
I mean, well, they just gave Jefferson what, like 100 million?
Yeah.
They're trying to recover a little bit from that.
What does that take away from our $26 million in cap space?
Nothing. I don't think anything
Nothing.
because they gotta put that
He
shit
just gets he just gets all the money up front, but it's still spread out over the years.
Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, I honestly, I mean, I'm sure there's a reason in the Vikings thinking of why they don't want to do it. I'm sure there's something that might help them out very minimally.
Maybe he doesn't.
Are you really gonna go piss off your first ever top 10 like draft pick? Like, bro, give him his fucking money. Like,
maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't pan out, is what they're thinking. Maybe like,
it doesn't matter. They still owe it to him. Now they're going to have to pay somebody who's not even playing for you. It's not even showing up to your facility. Give him the money now. He's already proven himself.
Like, let's say if you can save
himself, like he's going to work hard already. Like,
say you can save some money by cutting him in the 3rd or 4th year.
No.
You can't.
Well, more importantly, as we've seen, the Wilfs are one of the brokest owners in the league. I mean, how do you expect them to be able to do all that with only a measly $1.6 billion in net worth? How do you guys are unconscionable? They need to be able to save their money and be frugal.
The part we're missing here is he gets that money no matter what. And they could still mess with the cap however they want to with it.
Yeah.
Then why?
I just think it's their personal policy as the Vikings. And when it gets to nut cutting time,
that's their
they're
line.
Going to, huh?
That's like their line in the sand. Nope.
So there's
But
no.
I'm saying,
they don't want to give guaranteed money to non-quarterbacks, and they just gave $100 million to a wide receiver. So
right, exactly. That's what I'm saying is they'll cave when it gets to nut cutting time in a couple of days. I think they'll cave.
So there's no repercussions if you give him all his money up front. There's zero, right? Since it's spread out. No matter what, if you cut it, you gotta pay him.
Offers. We can't help pitch in with the Wilfs.
But why aren't they doing it if there's zero repercussions? You got to pay him no matter what. It is, to me, that makes zero sense to why they haven't done it.
It kind of feels like it's like telling, hey, I'm the boss, okay? You're the worker. I'm the boss. That's what it sounds like. And I'm sure, honestly, I'm sure there's more to it. It's just deeper than my knowledge goes. But he gets that money no matter what, and you can manipulate the cap number however you want to. So
I mean, the only difference is, Cody, is they actually stroke the check.
Okay, there's that.
They actually, instead of with whatever the number is, 18 million, whatever, instead of 9 million this year, 9 million next year, they're saying, okay, 18 million. Here
that money is in escrow. Like it's not like they have it. It's not like they're looking at their account and that 9 million's still there. Like,
man, this check's gonna bounce. What are we gonna do?
Discussions on it. Why is it?
But what we haven't heard, or at least I haven't, maybe you guys can school me. I haven't heard anything about Dallas Turner.
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Like I haven't heard how come
agent as JJ.
His mama was very proud and happy that the Vikings drafted him. They seem super stoked to be here, but he hasn't signed yet either. But you're kind of quiet over there. Is any of this worrying you?
I'm loving this conversation because this is a perfect scenario for what I know, what I've seen, and what I think. And I'm going to just give it to you the way that kind of rolls it. I'm going to roll it out really slow. So give me a minute here, okay?
All right.
Look at Dallas Turner is the perfect example of exactly what's going on with this. The Minnesota Vikings need to go into this preseason with good news. They got their two first-round draft picks unsigned when the whole rest of the league except one other guy doesn't. What do you think's going to happen? They're going to announce it when everybody gets to camp. They have the most beautiful facility in the NFL. They're going to put them up in front of the screens, and they're going to make a spectacle out of the fact that these two guys got signed on the first day of the season of the preseason. It's all you need to know. It's in front of us, man. And what I've seen, it's what the Vikings do. We always have a signing at the beginning of preseason. Anybody that thinks that this is an already done deal based on what you've seen the Vikings and the Wilfs do in the past, you don't watch the Vikings play football. It's what they do every single year. So here's what I think. You're going to see this happen on either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday when everybody's at the facility. And you know what? All this talk about why it's not signed is only because it's the spectacle of it. It has nothing. The contract's done, guys. It's over. It's not a matter of like, oh, we're worried about it. It's not like that, man. It's a done deal, and these guys are gonna walk into that place, and they're gonna have their faces up on the screen, and they're gonna have a pen in their hand, and the Minnesota Vikings are gonna have their 2 first-round draft picks as the last 2 signed in the NFL. So we're gonna go into the preseason with a positive attitude. That's it.
I like it. You paint a beautiful picture.
Hey,
if we're sitting here next Thursday and they're still not signed, then what?
Well,
what I know thinking seen was bullshit.
If it ain't first, you're last. Shake and bake, Ricky Bobby.
AJ McCarthy has the same agent as Zach Wilson did as a rookie, and they dragged that thing out all the way till July 29th.
Yeah, what's July 29th?
Same agent.
Was it the beginning of the season? What was the first
camp? Beginning of camp.
Yeah, there you go. Hello.
Preseason starts August. The Hall of Fame game starts August 1st, I think.
Yeah.
Preseason starts the 8th.
We need someone to make some sense here.
He who greets with smoke.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Shaq?
Shaq's been working hard on that Amazon Prime. So if you guys have been ordering shit these past few days, stop. Okay? My man's been working. Stop ordering. Take a break.
Shit.
I'll tell my wife.
Training camp starts first, by the way.
There you go.
29th is quite a bit of ways.
What's going on, fellas? Yeah, I was just going to talk about the contract situation.
Yeah.
So I feel like we don't have to rush it because I feel like Ronaldo was saying, the contract is probably already, written down. It's just defined details of the contract. And then they probably going to wait till like the first day of when rookies report to say, oh, we signed our rookies so they could practice.
That's the 21st. He has the same agent as Zach Wilson, and they dragged out to the 29th when Zach Wilson was a rookie.
Well, different season.
It doesn't start the same day every year, though.
29th.
Exactly.
A couple years ago.
In different teams.
I just want them to use Leonard's.
Does your worry elevate if they're not signed and they're not participating the first day of camp?
Yes,
I think that's bad.
100%. You need them in there for camp to develop.
And it's rookie camp. Only the rookies show up on the 21st. So if all of our other rookies are out there, but I mean, our 2 first rounders aren't signed. Our next pick is a 4th rounder who's no longer with us. Like, who's going to be at that rookie training camp? UDFAs?
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's going to be a kicker there. I know that much.
There's going to be a kicker there. At least one Bama guy signed.
I'll just say
Yeah, what the hell, Robbie? What's up with these divas you got coming out of Alabama?
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Right now, they're not expected to start anyways. If Van Ginkel was healthy, Dallas Turner would not be starting. And
Don't need to be on the field. Development.
Maybe not week one. But
Well,
Maybe not the first
but
snap.
even more so, Shaq, like they're not even like starters. Like, why are we like fighting with them about the contract that is already laid out by the NFL? This is how much you're getting paid.
I told you already last week. JJ wife wants that money now. They got vacation.
Oh, that's
It's in
right.
the
He needs
prenup.
the wedding. He needs the money for his wedding.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. You need
Okay, so what's Dallas Turner's excuse? Because I don't remember seeing too many pictures of him.
His
With,
excuse is JJ needs money for his wedding.
oh,
He's trying to go to
I'm going to be his best
I
man
know
or his
that.
friend.
It makes sense. Just get it.
You don't want to go bummy.
Right. You need. I need a suit. Okay.
They acting like they're Brock Purdy who can't
They
even
make
afford
fun of my
nothing.
draft day suit. I can't wear that to the wedding.
The thing is the agent is making around 20-something% off the deal. And he's like, no, you need to push for all that money now because I need to get paid now.
I don't think they can get any more money.
No, just to get the bonus up front right away. He needs that right now. He needs the
Like they can say like I need like the hot tub first or something like that in their contract, or I run out the tunnel first. Like they're working on stupid shit like that. Like
he needs the Rolls Royce so he can park in the middle of the freeway.
They're using the Rod Tidwell form of the contract negotiation.
Oh my gosh. So They need to get these guys signed. We've had a lot of stuff go wrong. Do you think that maybe the KOC and Quasi contract extension might be slowing down the talk because they want to see how they do with, these constraints? Because I think a lot of us kind of thought that the extension was going to happen this offseason. And I think I was one of them. I know, Ronaldo, you were one of them that thought it was going to happen this offseason. Shaq, do you still feel that's going to happen? Or do you think maybe now they're going to kind of wait and see how they navigate? Ronaldo, you think it's still happening?
Absolutely still happening. It's going to happen in the next 2 weeks.
Shaq,
So,
you agree?
Does Rob Brzezinski negotiate contract with the coaches too?
Yes.
The coach, yeah.
I don't know.
He probably,
so I don't care.
he probably got his work cut out for him, working out all these contracts and shit. You know how long it took him to get Justin Jefferson signed. So he's like, damn, I got a head coach, I got to work on the GM, and I got to work on the rookies. I don't get paid enough for this.
Whatever. He ain't writing one letter a day. I mean, geez.
Training camp's in 2 days. Get your fucking ass signed.
So who's this gonna fall on? Is this like mostly a KOC problem to right this ship this season, or is it gonna fall on Quasi too? Like, let's say they finish like fish things and they win 5 games and everything just they weren't able to. Yeah, I see the 5 on the one hand and then 2 ties. Okay, whatever. But let's say they win 5 games this year. Like, do you think that's a KOC problem or is that a KOC Quasi problem?
I think it's a both problem, depending on what their 2 first-rounders do, because they gave up a lot of draft capital to go get them, and we don't have the one draft capital to bridge that anymore. He's gone, unfortunately. Right now, and you're looking at next year's draft capital. We have less draft capital than we did this year for trading up for those first 2. Like, those guys have to. I'm telling you, they have to. One has to touch the field, and one just has to premiere as a first round rookie, in my opinion.
I don't see a shot of them losing 5 games winning only 5 games this year, short of a catastrophic health failure. Other than that, I don't see any way that they end up.
I don't see either, Ronaldo. But I'm saying, so if that does happen,
if they're injury prone all year, I don't think it matters about their contract status. I think if they don't get injured and it's a bad year, then I think I think there's a reevaluation at that point. If they don't re-sign a contract this offseason yet, I think if it's a bad year and there's no injuries, I think it could be.
I don't know. I think you got the Wolves there. Like, you know what? We didn't want to pay that Justin Jefferson that money. You talked us into doing it. You got no excuses.
And that's a hard sell to go to an owner and be like, hey, I'm sorry, our first round quarterback didn't touch the field this year. Like, that's probably what they're looking for is JJ McCarthy to put his foot on the field. I mean, with JJ McCarthy on the field, you're going to sell tickets, right? And money is everything in this league for owners.
Until the Wolves demonstrate that they are not the remarkably patient and understanding owners that they have demonstrated for the last 20 years, I will believe that they will continue to be so. And they will give KOC and Quasi the optimum amount of chances to do what they need to do. Does that mean I think they'll get extended this year? Not necessarily, but it might happen next year, just so long as what they need to see happening happens. Do I think that they could see all kinds of mitigating circumstances? Yeah. But I also see a growing portfolio of over the last few years, especially in the draft. You just got to look back at it. First year, and any of those draft picks really pan out at Ingram. Then second year, and now you're in the third, and you have some stuff that you can't control. The death of Kyrie Jackson and Jordan Addison acting like a fool. But what I'm getting at is that you're starting to get a body of work here on the personnel side. So who do I think can fix this? KOC. He's the guy that's got to fix it. He's the guy that's got to take all this mess, these ingredients that he's been given, and put something competitive on the field to make the Wolves say, we can still do something here. And I believe that they will be given every opportunity.
just to show the Wilfs that, hey, are we 2 years away or are we 5 to 8 years away? And without those picks, it's looking more into that 5.
So do we have how many picks we got in 2026?
3. Oh, it's 2026? We're talking, we haven't hit 2025 yet. We only have 3 in 2025.
I think we got one. I think we're missing just one pick in 26.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, so fuck those picks in 2025. We're building for 2026. We got cap space. Who gives a fuck about these picks? We ain't trying to develop young talent. We got the talent.
What sucks is after 2025, the contracts run up, though. They're not signed at 2026.
Are we still talking about the hypothetical that we're going to win 5 games, or can we move on from that and actually talk about where this team's roster's at? Because this is a 7-9 team last year with a fucking better roster this year. I don't see how you guys are going to sit here and make me have a conversation about a 5-win team.
Well, how many
are a better roster? I don't care what their fucking draft picks are next year.
How many people are on the roster in 2025 there, David?
Say again?
How many people are on the roster in 2025?
I don't care how many people are on the roster because we have cap room galore. What are you talking about?
We'll find out.
We have cap room galore. Exactly. You know what? I think you're way off on this, Cody. You can say we're 5 to 8 years away. There ain't a fucking team in the NFL that plans for a 5 to 8 year window away. You're out of your mind. 5 to
so
8
the Giants think they're going to be Super Bowl contenders this year.
They don't think they're 5 to 8 years away.
I guarantee they think they're 5 to 8 years away.
They don't think rosters turn over in 2 to 3 years, Cody. Get
Nobody
out of here.
has a 5 to 8 year plan, bro.
5 to 8 year plan. Let's go.
Coaches and GMs do not last that long. They do not have a 5 to 8 year plan.
How long do GMs usually last?
Like 4 years.
4 years. We got them on 3. There we go.
5 to 8 years.
So the question: do we extend Flores next year so we don't have to worry about him trying to play out his last year? I don't see him getting a coaching job with that.
I don't think lawsuit still out there. The next 5 to 8 years.
If you don't extend Flores, and even if Flores does extend it, and a new coach and GM comes in, Flores is probably going to be gone. Because they're going to want to redo everything in the organization.
Yeah.
Mike Brady has entered the room. You are now free to move about the cabin.
Mike, he's around for a while.
I haven't talked to him in 6 months. How's he doing?
I'm not saying
it's spectacular, actually.
I just think they're 5 to 8 years away.
No matter who's going to be the head of the ship, then.
Yeah, don't matter.
5 to 8 years away, there won't be 2 guys on the roster.
Right.
That's on the roster right now.
Right. Come on, man. Cody was way negative. Like the past 2 weeks,
you could 3 to 5 at least. I mean, shit.
Well, how much? So we got to sign Darrisaw yet, right? So Darrisaw is going to take majority of that $26 million that rolls over, or
not the first year. Not how contracts work in
the first year. So we use some of
that the first 3 years.
We use some of that money to recruit picks 2, 3, 5.
Keep going, Cody. I want to hear this.
5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2, 3, and 4, and 5.
I want to hear about
a fucking team that has fucking come back from losing picks 2, 3, 4, and 5. I can tell you when the Saints drafted Ricky Williams, they didn't recoup for a really long fucking time.
Yeah, we're totally like the Saints.
Yeah, and we're totally going to end up with the 3 picks that we got now. The only 3 picks we're going to have are the ones we have right now. Nothing else could happen to get more picks. Nothing.
Well, we got a 3rd round comp that should come our way for Cousins, right? I mean,
I thought we still have 2 5th round picks. I know it's 5th round, but they're still 5th round.
You guys really think we're going to pick in the first round? We're not. So get used to that right now.
I think we're probably trading back to. I believe that.
We're trading back for multiple seconds and thirds, or maybe late first and like second, thirds. We're not drafting the first. Maybe if we do like Fish wants and win 5 games, then we end up in the top 10. Maybe we stick around.
I don't care how many picks we have next year. All we need is defensive tackle from the draft, and then the draft that's A+.
Hey, wait, not just any defensive tackle. I want that Kentucky kid.
I don't think Tommy's here anymore. You don't got to kiss up.
There's more than just him. There's at least 8 defensive tackles who would go first round next year.
Okay, let me say it again in case you didn't hear me, Shaq. I don't care. I want the Kentucky kid who's the best defensive tackle in the draft. I don't want
big kid.
I don't want the
I wanna
1A,
see Moss.
1B.
He's the second one going off
J.J.
the board.
McCarthy doesn't touch the field, or Dallas Turner.
I want that monster.
First round.
I've been this year. I've been stripped of my joy because we didn't do shit for defensive tackle. So because of that, next year.
When's the last time you had joy, Fish? Because when have we done something for defensive tackle? Linval.
Okay, so now you're really reaffirming my belief that I don't want nobody but the god of defensive tackle. I'm kidding, of course. I want the best guy.
Well, I'm just saying they gambled a lot on J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner. If they don't pan out, it's over.
Isn't this what you wanted, Cody? What happened to this?
I know. What happened to that? Cody's like, no, never mind. No,
It's a master class, last I heard.
I thought it was a get, and I enjoyed it because we got Kyrie Jackson in the 4th round, and I would love it.
This before the 4th round, my guy. It was still the 1st round.
Yeah, and I still like the fucking picks. But if
no.
they don't do anything, they're done. Done. That means you lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. You lost a total of 8 draft picks, and they didn't.
All 6 of you remember this when we're having the pre-playoff show, and we all give it to Cody.
I feel like Cody teaching you.
I hope the Vikings are in the playoffs. Really do. Do I think they're doing?
I feel like Cody's getting beat down at training over there.
Like, hey, they're gonna suck.
Hold on, I let you on the barge. Stop.
No.
No. You're welcome aboard, Captain. You don't get to do that.
Oh, I already jumped off. I came on there to grab what I needed to grab, and I jumped off.
Okay.
Got you. Some pirate shit.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but that's that Cutthroat Island pirate shit. That ain't even like Pirates of the Caribbean pirate shit, man. That's,
I definitely think I'm like Johnny Depp in more ways than just a pirate.
Nah.
You look a
I
lot
bet
like
you run like him. I bet you run like him.
I do.
That's that San Francisco pirate shit.
All right, let's move on to something a little happier because this has all been like doom and gloom.
Oh my god!
And we talk about one position group every week, and we're almost done. We've almost gone through them all. We're doing the defense right now. Last week we talked about our interior defensive line, which we ended up grading a D, close to a freaking F. I hope we end up being proven wrong there, but they didn't do much to address it. So I think they earned what they got, and hopefully they hit on one of these guys like Tillery. Hopefully that works out. But this week we're going to do the edge and outside linebacker group, which I think a lot of us have high hopes for the players in position. We haven't seen them play together yet, so don't really know what to expect. We lost Daniil Hunter and DJ Wanham at the position. Those were the 2 key losses, but then we picked up Jonathan Grenard, picked up Van Ginkel, and we picked up Dallas Turner. So I'm feeling very confident about the position. How are you feeling about it, Lenny?
What have we heard this offseason about the UDFA from UCLA? The guy who played opposite of
Gabriel Murphy.
Has there been much talk about him? I guess I really haven't seen much. But I think him and hopefully Andre Carter's getting into football shape. I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's a B+ in my opinion. Just because it's got a lot of youth and it's got a lot of, and they all look the same. Like you look at their height and their weight. They're 6'3" to 6'6", and they're 240 to 260.
I've noticed that about a lot of their positions. So they definitely have types.
So I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I like that Murphy. I thought he had a good season last year for being small or having short arms or whatever. I mean, but
what about you, Cody? How you feeling? We lost Hunter, and that was a big one. And Wanham, he had a decent season until he got injured. So those were 2, pretty big losses. But then
I think everything for this edge group, everything hinges on Dallas Turner at least showing up as a first round pick on the edge. So, I mean, I would get 6 sacks or more. He showed up, right? And I think it relies on him. I trust our defensive coordinator to get these guys ready. I really want to push this group to an A because I think they can be an A in this league. But I'm going to say a B only because Dallas Turner, I think, is the pivot point for this group. I like Van Ginkel. Is he the same player in Miami as he's going to be in Minnesota? We don't know. Greenard's the same way. I really like Greenard more than I like Van Ginkel. I think Greenard's going to have a really terrific season. I think everything hinges off Dallas Turner. I'm hoping Dallas Turner beats out Van Ginkel by week 3, week 4, and then they're just swapping Van Ginkel out on certain plays here and there.
How you feel, Rinaldi, about losing Hunter and Wanham and then replacing them with Turner, Grenard, and Van Ginkel? How do you think we're going to be looking at the position?
I think we're deeper. I think we're deeper at that position than we are at any other position on this team except safety. And as a result of that, I think we've actually improved our position a whole lot. I kind of disagree with Cody again. Not to stay on beat. I'm whacking you around, dude. I'm not trying to do that to you. But I think Dallas Turner has some time if Van Ginkel's healthy enough at the beginning of the season. I was excited about having just Van Ginkel and Greenard right at the beginning of the season, and then we added Dallas Turner. It's kind of like the perfect situation for Dallas Turner. He doesn't have to show out. It's like having JJ McCarthy in a situation where he can learn it. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're going to see Dallas Turner on the field. I think he's going to show up and show out. And I think it's going to be in limited roles and in limited situations, unless Van Ginkel's hurt. I got to give this group, including a really, low light signing of even Jihad Ward. That guy is not, he's a 30-year-old guy, 6'5", 285 pounds. You don't bring him to the team unless you think he's got some shot at helping him out. I just don't see it. There's no reason to bring a 30-year-old to the team. Right? That's not who they signed.
I got one reason, Rinaldi.
Why?
Because they signed him before they drafted Dallas Turner.
Before they drafted Dallas Turner, right? But that I'll tell you what. I think they thought enough of the guy that he fits the scheme. So I bet he makes the team. I bet he contributes more than anybody's even talking about. So
he might, but that's going to be the tough part because Grenard, Dallas Turner, Andrew Van Ginkel. Probably making this team, right? Like they're locks. Patrick Jones and Andre Carter have both played for the team. Doesn't make them locks.
Agreed.
So, like the left side, last year we kept 5 outside linebackers and edges. So, to me, like this is the 5 that have the best chance that are on the left side of this list. But who on this right side can knock out a Patrick Jones or an Andre Carter?
I think Ward can beat out either. Wow, that's
sound clip that.
Oh, that's a long answer.
That's a long answer.
Are you willing to keep like a Ward who's 30 years old over like somebody with potential like a Gabriel Murphy?
Yeah, or it depends. Maybe. I think
Patrick Jones.
I think Patrick Jones has shown he's not really the guy. I think he's just kind of who he is. Anyway, at the end of the day, are we giving grades now? I'll give this team. I'll give these guys, and I'm going to give them an A. Gotta give them an A. It's an A.
We need to see Dallas Turner on the field a lot. The owners already know they don't have a first. Their quarterback's not seeing the field. They draft in the first round. This guy's got to be on the fucking field.
I have like zero worries about Dallas Turner, and like I said before, that's the only thing that worries me is I have no worries about him. Like, not at all. What about you, Shaq? Do you think the 5 that we have on the left that's who we're going to roll with, or do you think any of those guys on the right side of the list could knock out Patrick Jones or Andre Carter?
So I feel like the ones on the right side, we have to more so focus on Gabriel Murphy and Bo Richter. Those two are kind of like sleeper picks because they both had excellent seasons in college and then kind of like fell off the map. So it's like, can they get back to that elite level that they once was at? And, Patrick Jones, he's kind of been up and down. So it's like, it's gonna be real good competition behind Dallas Turner, Van Ginkel, and Grenard. So my thing is, I'm not really worried about depth wise because how if Wanham and Hunter really wasn't hurt, our rotation wasn't really that deep.
That's true.
Like until one got hurt, we wasn't really rotating our edges like that. So I'm more so concerned if how much do we have to rely on Dallas Turner to be an impact player, or can we just use him as a situational pass rusher and have Van Ginkel and Grenard actually wreck can they actually wreck offensive lines by themselves? Because if you look at our first 2 games, we're going to go against some of the elite tackles. We got Andrew Thomas on the Giants, and then we got what's it called on the 49ers?
Trent
Williams.
Gotcha.
So that's what's really going to determine if they're going to be elite or they're just going to be good pass rushers. So if I had to grade them, I'll give them a B because I don't know what Dallas Turner can be in his rookie season. Not saying he's not going to be a future Hall of Famer, blah blah blah. I'm just saying, like, how much can we expect out of a rookie pass rusher?
Yeah. I'm expecting a lot, man. I really am. Like, I'm expecting him to push for Rookie of the Year. Like, honest to God, like I honestly, I mean, obviously, I expect more out of him than JJ McCarthy this season because we signed Sam Darnold. But I'm expecting this guy to push for Rookie of the Year, and this. Oh, maybe he can get in situationally. Okay, maybe for the first 3 weeks, but that's not Justin Jefferson. This guy, he's ready to go. Let's get him out there. Let's get him, running. And I think he is that guy. I think he's going to hit the ground running. And dude, I'm scared. Can
you pull that?
He's going to be that guy, and I think he's going to be so good that even if JJ doesn't pan out, we won't care that much because we got Dallas Turner and he's killing it. Shaq, you can go ahead and do that, but I think Dallas Turner is going to be that good.
If JJ's not going to touch the field, he needs to pan out.
JJ was a top 10 pick. We need him to pan out.
Right.
We traded up. We traded up for JJ.
We traded up for Dallas Turner.
We traded up for Dallas Turner too.
We traded more for Dallas
Turner. To be honest, we gave up more for Dallas Turner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, drafting Christian Ponder didn't cripple us, but now we have like drafting Christian Ponder and we got Dallas Turner. We got insurance. We got
say that.
Insurance.
You see where I'm coming from on that, huh, Shaq? There you go. Can you pull up the edges again, the OLBs?
Yeah. And let me make this also clear. I don't think JJ McCarthy's a bust. I'm just saying the worst possible scenario is that he is. We still got some kind of insurance, like where the draft wasn't a bust. Like, I think JJ McCarthy is going to be the guy. I think he's going to be our quarterback for the next 10 years, at least if there's no injuries. Money kind of gets in the way of things, so I don't know how things will work out, but I don't think there's going to be a performance issue with him. So
we brought in 5 outside linebacker edges into last year. I can see that being kind of similar because of the safety situation that we like so much. I think it's 5 and whatever the safety was. I think they're going to be stuck.
It could possibly be 6 if we don't carry 3 quarterbacks, which I think.
Yeah. Maybe. But who is the 5? You got Greenard for sure, Turner for sure, Ginkel for sure. Then who are you getting? You got 2 more. Who you grabbing? Patrick Jones.
I'm rooting for Gabriel Murphy.
I think Gabriel Murphy makes the team.
And then I think you get somebody like either Patrick Jones or Ward.
I could see Ward. I could see Ward making it and Carter going to the practice squad.
Now, does your grade hurt if you have Ward on the 5th or Patrick Jones on the 5th? Same grade.
Yeah,
they're the same grade. I'd almost put Patrick Jones as a better grade than Jihad.
Hey Keith, can you please keep that up when it's my turn?
It's his fourth season, so I mean he's played 3 years and really hasn't done much or played well. So
and Patrick Jones is still under a rookie contract too, right?
This is last year.
Yeah.
So Fish, I know the defensive line near and dear to your heart. You want to see them beef that up. They didn't do it, but I think like edges and the outside linebackers are the closest thing to that aren't defensive linemen. So how are you feeling about this group?
All right. So let me go back to how I felt about pre-draft. I thought we sucked. I thought us signing Jonathan Grenard, who wasn't shit until Will Anderson was drawn to drawing the blocking scheme to him, which freed Jonathan Grenard. I ain't sold on Chris Kringle being able to do that. And I was about to say, if you'd asked me pre-draft, I'd have given us a D, possibly an F. However, despite the fact that it's not the position that we want, we got arguably the best defender in the draft.
Yes.
So, at this particular position, this is a big swing. I'm like you, Keith. I see a lot of stuff happening with Dallas Turner. I see him being able to change the blocking scheme. I see that allowing Jonathan Grenard to be able to flourish a little bit better, just like he did last year. And I'm going to tell you something. The reason I wanted you to keep this graphic up, because I noticed something about a player I didn't even care about before. Jihad Ward, 6'5", 285 pounds. By God, he's bigger than most of our defensive tackles.
You're not going there, are you?
I sure as hell am. I'm not saying we're going to make a defensive tackle, but if we're going to go with the jumbo package, I'd rather have him in there than stupid ass Tillery, who's built like a beanpole. I'm just saying. I think he can make it based on his size for running situations. And I'm optimistic on Gabriel Murphy. He's going to be my hot take. So I see Turner, Grenard, Chris Kringle, Ward, Gabriel Murphy. And I am going to give them an A.
An A?
An A.
An A.
An A.
We went from a D to F to an A.
To an A because of the fact that we took a guy who will roll the blocking schemes over to him, which will improve the performance of the guy opposite him.
I'm kind of taken back. That that's all it took to go from a D and F to A. I wish it was that easy in school. I was like, come on, I did the extra credit stuff.
Right. A lot of Dallas Turner, a little pendulum here.
Is Robbie in the chat?
He was.
He's the last two comments.
It was Saints have Rattler.
I forgot the other edge that came out of Alabama. I don't know who's better between him and Dallas Turner, but I don't think he had that many sacks last year.
Who?
Turner? Will Anderson? He had 10.
He had 10.
He had 10?
Yeah.
Who? Will Anderson?
Yeah.
10 wins your rookie of the year. 6 made sure you're a good first round pick.
All right. Well, we need 13 from him.
So we got 3 Bs and 3 A's. So I give it an A. Like I'm ecstatic, and I probably would have gave it an A before the Dallas Turner draft pick. I mean, I made it an A plus. Like I was happy. Like I knew we were gonna lose Hunter. Like there was nothing we were gonna do about that. He was gone, and replace him with Grenard, who had a similar season to him. And you can say it happened because of this or happened because of that, and not give any credit to the man himself. That's fine. We'll find out. We'll see. You're still gonna say I don't see it, but like
where was Green?
I feel roster wise we're better even before Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner just makes it that much better. To me, it's an obvious A.
Where was Greenard blitzing from? What side of the offensive line?
I thought he was on the right tackle.
The right tackle, so not the strongest tackle.
That's how I see it. Yeah.
I think that's where he was in Houston.
Yep, that's how I saw it. That's how my mind sees it.
So now we're going to put Van Ginkel up against the left tackle, arguably the strongest position on the offensive line for a team if they do have a good left tackle.
I don't think you're going to see him in that spot every single time. I think they move these guys all around.
I hope they move around.
Yeah.
What does that do for them if they were really good at the right side, but now you're moving Greener to the left side? Is he going to put out that same statistics?
Isn't Percival Pringle probably going to miss the first few games with a foot injury anyway?
Yeah.
You're going to see Dallas Turner going against the left tackle right off the jump.
Yeah, 100% you will. And Greenard signing was like, all right, same thing you were doing in Houston, bro. This dude's taking the double teams. You just go run free. against the Rangers.
You guys are oversimplifying that shit and giving way too much credit to Will Anderson. The dude had 12.5 sacks. When did DJ Wanham have 12.5 sacks? Because he had Daniel Hunter on the other side.
Okay, what did he do the years? What did he do the 2 years before
Guy has
that?
his own skill set.
Will Anderson had 12.5 sacks against left tackles in this league.
I feel like he moved around.
Okay, but when did DJ Wanham have him opposite? Like even Ray Edwards opposite of freaking Jared Allen didn't have.
No. You push him on your best defender is on the left side. 100%. Where Jared Allen play? What side?
Like, are you under the impression that every team has a stud left tackle? Because they don't.
The teams we're going up against this year do.
So the thing is, with the 3-4,
name 5 left tackles we're going against, Cody.
Trent Williams.
Okay, there's one.
Andrew Thomas. That's just 2 out of 5.
Are we done?
That's the first.
Are we done?
The Lions left tackle.
Who?
The Lions left tackle.
Yeah, Lions left tackle.
The Bears left tackle. The Packers left tackle.
I'm sure the Bears left tackle. The Eagles got picked in the second round.
Hell, I barely know our left tackle's name. You want me to name some other team's left tackle? Man, come on. Man.
If you're going to say that you're so worried about them and that we're facing off against dominant left tackles, yeah, I expect you to know some of their freaking names.
Well, I
didn't say left tackles. I said rotating the blocking scheme.
I wasn't grilling you.
I gave you the first 2 games of the year. I just gave you the first 2 games of the year. What's the third game?
That was a good answer.
Jesus Christ.
I asked you for 5 down games, and you can't give me 5. So if he has 2 down games,
the third game is Laramie Tunsil. Let's keep going. The fourth game.
Look it up.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the schedule. The Packers game. Bakatari is not playing, but Ford played pretty well last year. I know who that guy is. The Jets. Who's the Jets?
He played really well. He was really good. I don't know who the fuck he is. Shut the fuck up, man.
Oh, then you got Taylor Decker. That's 5. Who else we got over here?
I mean, I'm looking more at tight ends and running backs chipping and helping out. And I think that they'll be going over towards the left more. I'm just saying Bernard will get more one-on-one matchups against his guy instead of having the help come against him.
So what you guys are bringing up is the fact that when you're in the 3-4, your pass rushers move left and right. No pass rusher stays on one side. Like with the Cowboys, they move Michael Parsons around. They move around. They're not just rushing one side. They're going for the weakness. They're attacking whoever's the weakest on the offensive line.
Well, the Texans ran a 3-4, but Greenard was still on the right side most of the time.
Like you guys are.
Hey, Shaq, we did it with Zadarius Smith too, and until he injured his foot or leg or whatever and became ineffective, he was doing great. I hope to see that with Dallas Turner. I really do.
Yeah, I hope.
But I think you're going to have one person. You're going to have one person actually be stationary. If I remember correctly, Hunter was pretty much a fixed spot on the right side of the defense, and Zadarius Smith was roaming and trying to be a wrecking ball. So you could probably see Grenard being a fixed spot and Dallas Turner, who seems to be the more tight.
Grenard started 15 games last year and had 12.5 sacks. And okay, Will Anderson was there. 2022, I don't know what happened, but he only started 4 games. But in 2021, he started 12 games and had 8 sacks. And Will Anderson was not there. 8 sacks in 12 games. 12 played, 12 started, Fish, because I know you're peculiar about that. 12 played, 12 started, 8 sacks in 12 games.
Was that JJ Watts last year?
Yeah, on the Cardinals, it really helped him.
Sorry. Well,
that was a good try, though. That was a good try. I don't blame you that much.
What year was that? We could find an edge that's really good.
I think the thing that we're all
just fucking good, dudes.
Yeah.
Damn.
What I think the thing we're all missing on is that this isn't like Foch Fazio's defense, and Jared Allen's going to line up on the right side the whole time. This is a 2022 hybrid defense with a whole lot of people rushing. It's not. I mean, it's not even just the D linemen that are rushing in this defense. It's Josh Metellus. It's freaking. We're going to be sending Cashman in. this is not. I think it's a terrible take to think
yeah.
that. We got to look at just the right side and who's gonna line up against their left tackle. It's not how we play defense anymore. That's not what the Vikings defense is. Thank God. That's why we want to keep this guy as our coordinator, right?
Well, I hope so. I got $100 bet being a top 10 defense this year.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I mean, come on. How did you even come up with that? Because of that.
No, I can come up with anything I want. I'm just looking at it how it is.
Yeah, what you doing?
I said, fuck it. Let's bet. I don't know. I probably not the right answer to say fuck it. Let's bet. Won't ever do that as a bet.
Zip. Flop.
Oh God, there's just been so many takes that we've had on these shows. Like, I just can't wait for the season to start just to see who was right.
We got to come up with a special form of dance or something for when we lose on a take that we got to do. Like, even if it's just I don't know, something we got to do when we catch that L. We gotta bring it out. We got to commemorate it because I'm going to catch a lot of them. I know I am.
Oh, 100%.
And that's
Gritty.
cool.
I probably won't be dancing at all. Because I'm a genius.
Shaq, you don't know how long I've been trying to get Keith to do a gritty.
It's not gonna happen. My daughter tries to get me to do it too. She's like, the boys at my school always do the gritty. I'm like, okay. She's like, can you do it? No. Why? You like the Vikings? I got no rhythm.
That's when you say, sweetheart, he didn't originate it. He just made it popular.
I did.
Yep.
When we were and you know what? I was watching it on Receiver. I don't think he gave credit to the guy the whole time. Like, he was talking about gritty, and like, all right, here he comes. He's gonna mention the dude's name. He's gonna give the guy a shout out, and that's gonna make the dude's fucking life. Never did.
Is there a guy? I didn't. Is that
not his?
story?
He didn't make up the dance.
They were doing it in soccer before.
Not on Receiver, but Jamar Chase and I think Justin Jefferson did mention where they got it from. But this was like their rookie year.
It's been said before. It's been said before, and the guy has like YouTube videos of it and stuff. But like this Netflix show, and they're talking about the gritty and where it came from. And he's talking about, oh well, I did it in college. Did it. Just never gave the guy a shout out. I was like, oh, come on, man. Like,
well, he had limited time. All he had to focus on was
the guy's hanging to that. That's all he has. So a nice little shout out on Netflix probably would have meant a lot to him.
Yeah, he was talking about his variations, Shaq. Got the different kinds of gritty. He talked about all that. And he couldn't have said, that. Yeah.
I swear I saw a video at the start of like last year where he did like 3 or 4 different gritties and that guy was there with him. So,
yeah,
it's kind of weird.
I didn't know that he had different variations. I guess like after a touchdown, I'm busy celebrating, but I didn't know like doing this and
he does whatever. Like, he does things with his arms.
The fake hamstring
one. That one really got me.
I hate that one.
Yeah, he said it's not doing it.
But Tom was a motherfucker, ain't it?
That it is.
I mean, if his gritty was good enough, it would have got to Fortnite, but it wasn't. Justin Jefferson's gritty is fucking 100%.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson playing on the NFL stage probably didn't help at all.
No.
And the guy being on YouTube.
Hey, yeah, you don't ever want to be on YouTube.
Mm-mm.
I'm just saying, like,
we're trying our best to not be.
Don't get confused.
It's hard to get people to watch your YouTube, all right?
Yeah.
Especially when you don't tell them to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, damn it.
Or sometimes you do, and then your partner laughs at you for doing it.
I just like it. It's something new to me. It's like, oh, he said that. I know who says that.
So as we said, training camp starts on Sunday. That's just for the rookies. The veterans report on Tuesday. Is there anything that you guys will be paying attention to during training camp or hoping to see? I'm starting with you, Shaq, because I know you like the off-season stuff and scouting. What are you going to be looking for?
So I want to see Dallas Turner versus Christian Darrisaw. That's the matchup I'm looking for.
That's a good one because Darrisaw was talking him up and like saying he did all these good moves, but it wasn't against me.
So you gotta see the best of the best, and it starts with that training camp. Is you only got what after training camp is a week until preseason, or they get a little break and then go to preseason. So I'm looking for the trenches because that's my main focus from last year. All the other positions we was like either good or great to elite, but the offensive line, the defensive line was horrific. So I'm trying to see those battles in the trenches.
What are you looking for, Cody?
I'm looking for the cornerback room. Because we seen during mini camp, Kyrie Jackson locked down Jordan Addison, locked him down, and in mini camp we saw a Caleb Evans start drinking, get burned multiple times, like it was wild. And like then after he got burned multiple times, you didn't see much of a Caleb Evans in highlight videos or training camp talks anymore. So I want to see the battle between the three. McGothern, I think, is going to be the battle with the Caleb Evans and Andrew Booth. I want to see which one of those three gets into the actual five that we take into the initial 53 roster. And that's my biggest thing.
That's a good one. That's going to be a big one, how that all unfolds, because we know like Murphy's cornerback 1 pretty much, but after that, we really don't know. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting all the way till week 1. What about you, Lenny? Is there anything specific that you're hoping to see or you're interested in for the training camp?
I mean, I was interested to see kind of who rises. You kind of have who's going to be there, but like there's a lot of positions, I believe, on the team that are open, and someone is just waiting to be grabbed by some of these players. So just interesting. That overall, I don't have a certain position. Just see how it goes. I'm more excited for the first preseason game because I actually get to see him out there against another team. I know that they have a joint practice or whatever, but yeah.
I think these days we get a little bit more out of the joint practices than we do preseason. Well, for the starters, like preseason, I enjoyed preseason last year because we focused so much on the players and learned about them. Like we knew who they were in the fourth quarter. We knew who those players were, and we were intent on still watching those guys and seeing how they perform. So no, I'm preseason too because I do want to see guys who are trying to crack the roster. But as far as like starters and stuff like that, or projected starters, I think that's going to come in the practices. What do you say, Cody?
I'm excited for JJ McCarthy in preseason. That should be like the number. Honestly, that should be the number one. But just to see him on the field, like, all right, what do we really got here for a little bit? Like I think that's big.
I completely agree.
What do you got, Rinaldi?
Well, I think that this preseason is going to be one of the most interesting preseasons we've had in a long time. There is a lot of changeover on this roster. There's a lot of question marks, not necessarily with regard to who's going to be the guy or this. I think it's going to be more like what does the running back room look like? How many first carries does Chandler get versus Jones? What does the tight end room look like? What does the tight end room look like without our boy on the field, right? Without Hutchinson on the field? Who's going to step up and be the number one guy? Who's going to be the receiving guy? Who's going to be the guy that does the blocking, right? I think Cody made a great point about the corners. Obviously, with Kyrie going, what happened with him, there's going to be a whole lot of competition at that spot, and maybe they even bring somebody in along the way. I think that's going to be a huge area of responsibility to watch. Dude, it even goes back all the way down to the kickers. I mean, I know that we got Richter, and this guy looks like amazing, but the fact of the matter is that he's no lock. It's a kicker. I mean, we spent a draft pick on him, but it's still a fucking kicker. He's got to win that spot.
The XFL guy or UFL guy or whatever, Romo.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to win that spot. So I think this is a great preseason. This is going to be one of the coolest preseasons we've had in a long time. I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I can't wait to see exactly what goes on. And you're going to get answers out of every room. But at the end of the day, I'm going to finish up with this one. Cody hit it on the head. What's going to happen with JJ McCarthy? Does he stay with the threes like he did in OTAs? And by the way, let's not over fucking rate these OTAs. The OTAs are like, oh, he's in third stringers. He's playing with shorts on. We're going to see 7-on-7s. We're going to see. I mean, this is going to be fun to watch, guys. Everything that we can get our hands on, we need to consume it because it's going to be great to watch what's going on. And does he play with the threes? Does he play with the twos? Does he get even one snaps? And my guess is that he's going to get one snaps, right? It was one of my predictions going in. Are we going to be talking in 2 or 3 weeks that this guy might be starting in week 1? I know it's a preconceived. He's not gonna start at the beginning of the year, right? Yeah. Guess what? We may be talking about this guy starting at the beginning of the year. You guys need to get excited about this football team. We got a lot going on.
I'm excited, Rinaldi, and I'm glad to see you excited. I'm glad to see some of that reciprocated because I hate being the positive beacon in this group. Like,
what are we
I'm
doing?
getting yelled at when I'm already excited.
I'm like the one that's positive out of all of us. I mean, Lenny's not too negative, but like,
First year.
Cody, Cody was pretty positive. Cody's just be like, well,
He's like, I feel all icky. I don't like it.
Mid-game. Catch Keith Hansen mid-game.
Watch a game live with me. It's a fucking roller coaster. But,
Hey, y'all, get on the new Discord that we have, so that way you can really live it. It gets wild when Keith gets in the Discord.
But internally, I'm always believing, and I believe the way I'm outward projecting is helping that team perform, and I believe that.
100%.
I just want to have a watch party live like this with Keith on a game. I just want to see
we did with the Lions, and that game didn't matter, so I didn't care. It's gotta be.
I want to see the dread in his eyes. I want to see the despair coming out.
He's going to be.
You might not want to fuck with me after that.
Hey, Fish, I heard he's going to be in Nashville in one of those games.
Nashville. Smashville.
There's some y'alls in Nashville.
I've moved on to Hawk Tuas.
Yeah, I'm done. Tua.
Fish, what are you looking forward to seeing in the training camp? What are you hoping to hear, see? It's got to be something.
All right, so I'm going to echo David's sentiment. And I think one of the great things about this offseason that we've been living since March has been the unknown. We've kind of had certain things set in key positions for 6 years or however long, or even longer in some positions. And now we've got this unknown, and it breeds this anticipation and this excitement to find out, what could we do different? What does different look like from what we've had, especially in these important positions? It's very exciting. I've been excited ever since we didn't sign Kirk, and it's like, okay, from what I didn't foresee coming, which was the benefit to our cap situation, to, just like, okay, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. But here's what I'm looking forward to seeing coming up. I'm looking forward to seeing what I think is my biggest question mark still is how the defense performs when they put the pads on in practice. Once they put the pads on and they can start hitting, I want to see how they do, because that's when you'll probably get a little bit better. He's locking him down, he's getting burnt. But once they can touch him, you're going to find out it's probably a little bit of a better litmus test on how they're doing.
That's a good one. Now, Nick.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
Nick.
Hey, did you go see Creed tonight?
No, my uncle canceled at the last second. He had to pick up overtime.
Fuck.
He had to. He's got 5 goals. He's gonna have to pay for 5 weddings.
Wow.
That's still a thing?
I've got girls.
Because I'm not paying for my 3 daughters' weddings. I'll tell you that right now.
You're fucked.
They'll be getting
They'll
married.
be looking, they get a gift.
The case. What's up, Nick? We're just talking about training camp coming up on Sunday, and wondering, is there any position group or certain player that you're hoping to hear some stuff about or hoping to see?
I'm just really excited to see what Dallas Hunter is gonna do. I mean, the way Robbie. Well, never mind. He went to Alabama, so Robbie was gonna praise him anyway. But I just think I'm excited to see what he's gonna do, and I'm excited. I this is gonna sound really stupid, and I know ahead of time I'm gonna get some flack for this, but one of the things I'm looking forward to about this year is I don't feel there's any pressure on us this year.
I
like that.
That's actually a pretty good
Yeah.
take.
I mean, like nobody. If we start out 0-3, nobody's gonna be on ESPN. Oh, how about they're not gonna trash us
Unless I
because
get on ESPN, then you know.
I mean, even though I don't, yeah, but I'm just. Oh, I need to keep it down because there's a house across the street. But I just
I want to hear their thoughts on our training camp. Go get them.
yeah, they're probably in bed. They're probably out for the night. But I just. I'm really excited to see what our new defensive edge situation is going to look like with Greenard. How do you pronounce his name? I can never get it right.
I got a Greenard. I heard Greenard. I got
Greenard, yeah. I'm also excited. I'm also excited to see Aaron Jones and Purple.
That is going to be exciting to see. If he can stay healthy, that could be really fun this year.
I've always liked him as a person. As much as I hate the Packers, I've always liked him and respected him. So yeah.
He better do good because that's my first hot take is that he is going to have the best fucking season of his career.
Nick, I just want to let you know something. If we start out 0-3, they are going to get trashed a little bit.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, good point, Fish. Good point. Good point.
But I guess I wouldn't consider that pressure.
You underestimate our power, sir.
Pressure.
What else am I excited for? Well, definitely not to see our secondary get boned 18,000 times, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm just excited football's starting back up. I really am.
Heck yeah!
I mean, it's just
time of the year.
It's just the freaking Woody from noon to 10 o'clock on Sunday.
That's it, man. I mean, it starts Saturday night. That's when I start pregame Saturday night.
Yeah.
And then you got Monday, you got football on Thursday. Man, I love it. And like whoever doesn't like football on Thursday, get out of here, man. I love coming home on Thursday and watching that game, especially because a lot of times I have Friday off. Like, I love that Thursday night game. And I don't care if it's the two worst teams. Like, I don't have to give it my full attention and like, oh my God, this is the only thing going on in the world. But there's a fucking game on. Like, how could you be mad about that?
But anyways, I just wanted to come on and say hi because usually I'm sleeping at this time, but I'm off in the morning, so I can stay up late, and I'm coming back.
You're partying, all good.
We had a music festival that I was at tonight.
You've been getting out lately. I've seen that.
Oh yeah,
festivals, a lot of concerts, boating. You just get.
I have a big foam party on Saturday to go to.
There you go. Nick's having a summer.
By the way, I want to give a shout out to Leonard. Congratulations on your daughter, man. That's freaking awesome.
Oh, you're out of California now.
Yeah, I'm back up in Oregon.
Yeah, it's still light out.
It was hotter here than it was in San Diego when I got back. It was 100 here. Yeah, it was 100 up here.
I mean, I want to say I don't believe you, but the fact that it's still light outside and it's pitch black out here, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it got dark at 8:30 down in San Diego. 9:30 here. It's 8:45. It's light as shit.
So I wanted to see the cornerbacks too. That was probably my number one. But the other group that I'm excited about seeing in training camp is actually the receivers, because even before Jordan Addison, I don't think that Brandon Powell's the answer at wide receiver 3. I don't know if we need to go out and pick up somebody, or can someone like Naylor stay healthy and step up? Can one of these UDFAs? We got like 4 good UDFAs, man. They're just, we're hoping that one of them could break in and be at least a wide receiver 4. So like, can one of these guys stand out and maybe even battle for wide receiver 3? That'd be so sick if one of these UDFAs can come in and compete for wide receiver 3. That'd be a good problem to have. So
it's happened in the past.
See that, like, and that's going to correlate with our quarterbacks too. Like, how's the quarterbacks and how are the wide receivers doing? Like, that's what I'm watching. Cornerbacks, of course, too. Like that. That's a big question mark. I don't know. I guess there's just a lot. There's a lot. And it's a good time to be a Viking fan because, yeah, we're not a Super Bowl favorite right now, but things are trending up. And like Fish said, I think a lot of it had to do with the weight of Kirk Cousins. Like, the guy doesn't suck. He's a good quarterback, but I think we all kind of knew we weren't going anywhere with him. So I think we exhaled. Like, okay.
There is a lot, though. A lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
I think Leonard said it best a couple months ago when he was like, with Coke, it's like, yeah, he's a good quarterback, but he was paid so much money that his play couldn't make up for the deficiencies of the rest of the team. And when you pay that kind of money and expect that kind of money, that's what you need to do.
There's nothing quantitative I can put to this, but I've said it before. Good quarterback. I was a fan of his, but it just ran its course.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it.
And he just
That was a good way to
really had that Case Keenum feeling that made you feel like we could just go out there and win any game. I never felt that with him. So
that was a good way to put it.
6 years of not feeling that way.
You snuck Case in, dude. You did it 2 hours in, bro. I love it.
I
2 hours and 10 minutes.
It was like organic to the conversation.
36 seconds.
How you doing? Good, man.
I do like Nick's point, though. He said Kirk Cousins couldn't make up for the deficiencies of this team.
Right. And
I was strict.
And people say he only plays quarterback. He's not supposed. No, you are paid that much to play that position. You make up for deficiencies that we can no longer pay.
Right.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes
Now he's gone. And now he's gone. And
went to the fucking
Darnold
They
to
wouldn't be
make
making the playoffs.
Cody, don't give me too much credit for that take. I was strictly copying Lenny.
Oh, that was Lenny. You guys have good takes. Now we have Sam Darnold to make up for those deficiencies. So I'm pretty sure we're going to do all right this year.
Or Nick Mullins.
Or Nick Mullins.
But you're projecting the same thing with Sam Darnold and more. Like you're predicting 7 wins. Like what did you predict with Kirk? 8?
Start dropping those numbers down a little bit.
All right, let's do the hot takes and get out of here. And I'm gonna start because you guys pissed me off. I'm doing 2, and I don't care. I get to. So my first one is the Vikings will sign Michael Thomas. Okay,
That's a hot take.
they will sign Michael Thomas. And my second take is Grenard will beat his 12.5 sacks from last year with no Will Anderson here. He is the Will Anderson here. Okay, so he's going to beat the.
You want to put a time frame on that Michael Thomas take to heat it up a little bit?
Yeah, deadline for that. I mean, no, that's pretty hot. That's pretty.
Break it up.
Let's make it a little hotter. If we're going to give you 2 takes, let's turn the heat up on that. When are we signing Michael Thomas by?
Before the Ravens do.
Okay. I'll step it up, Cody. Before 31 other teams do.
Yeah. I just said
By week one.
Okay.
There you go.
Before the start of the season.
Yeah.
I'm down.
This is going to be something that happens soon.
I just say
Because we already needed a wide receiver before this Addison stuff. Now we need some more insurance. So we will sign Michael Thomas before week 1, and Grenard will have over 12.5 sacks this season.
Wow.
2 separate takes, not a parlay.
Right.
You got one for us, Cody?
Yeah, so the Vikings will go. They will go 3-0 in preseason.
They play 3 games still?
Yeah. They will go 3-0 in preseason.
That's such a Viking thing. Like I feel like they always go undefeated in preseason. I always got my hopes up until like recently.
I'm only saying this because there's only been 2 teams since 1975 to go undefeated in preseason and win a Super Bowl. There's only been 2 teams since 1975 to go undefeated in preseason to make the playoffs. We are not one of them teams.
Yeah, we've got undefeated in preseason and had a lot of 8-8 seasons.
Didn't we go undefeated in preseason in '98?
Yes.
Yes, we're one of those 4 teams, and the Ravens are the same team. They did it 3 straight times.
All right, so they will go 3-0 in preseason. You got one, Shat?
Yeah, I don't know if Robbie's still here, but I made sure I promised him this. Jordan Addison will have touchdowns against the Detroit Lions. 2 of them will be on Terrion Arnold.
Wait, hold on. He's gonna have how many? 3? 5?
5 in
5
2
games?
games.
2 games.
You should have said he would have scored a touchdown against the Giants or the Niners.
Nah.
No, he
fuck
did
that.
against Robbie. He did it against Robbie.
Yeah. Lions. The best team
So-
in the NFC.
So let me this is a big one, Shaq. So Jordan Addison's gonna have 5 touchdowns against the Lions, and 2 of them will be against Arnold.
Yes. Terrion Arnold.
I like that.
Now,
I love it. I love it.
Man,
Hold on, the shirt's got to come off. Let's get a little warm in here.
that was a hot one. That's a hot one.
5 touchdowns in 2 games.
I think I had one.
Justin Jefferson all this money. We got Jordan Addison right here. We got Justin Jefferson at home.
I think the last person to score 3 touchdowns as a wide receiver was Randy Moss in the Thanksgiving game.
For the Vikings, yeah,
Alright.
probably.
That's on
What do you got,
fire.
Ronaldo?
That's
Good call. What's that? Who's next?
You.
All right. I got 3. I got 3 for this one. So I'm gonna start with the Minnesota Vikings this year will win the turnover battle. The Minnesota Vikings will win the turnover battle by 10 or more turnovers.
10 or
10
more?
or more turnovers. They will win the turnover battle. That's a hot take.
That's a
This is
plus
almost
10.
one of those ones I don't even want to write down but I have to because that is a hot take. My table's burning right now, bro.
shit.
A
The
plus
second.
10 on turnovers.
The second, our kicker, Reichard, right, will set
No, we do it every week, Ronaldo.
will set a Minnesota Vikings record for longest field goal ever this year.
What's the current record? Do you know?
It's
Is that
60 or
leg?
61. It's 60 or 61.
St. Joseph 61.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Joseph did get that one.
Wasn't that Baltimore game or something? No.
Giants.
That was a
Giants game. That's
Giants
right.
game.
Giants game.
We
Oh,
won the
they-
wrong one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure did. And then the last one will be a Caleb Evans will win a starting position. Drink.
Skol, Emerson.
I ran out of beer.
I don't have anything to drink.
It's okay. You got a hot take though?
This is I just had to think of one right now, and it might be crazy, but that's okay. JJ's gonna have a touchdown in the full 7 games.
All 7 games?
Screw it. Let's go for it. I don't care. Let's
I
just
love it.
Awesome.
Some pretty good odds, I bet, too.
and I'm gonna break my hip trying to do the gritty in my living room because I'll be so excited.
Just film it, please.
You know what, Nick? You might have to be gritty on live, bro.
I hope you're right, Nick, for the sake of my value of him getting the contract he did.
Yeah, because
He needs
like,
he needs a
Yeah, I
song.
agree. Yep, I agree. I agree with that, Fish.
He finally got a quarterback.
4 touchdowns and
Yeah, as
1,800
long as Darnold doesn't throw to the other people, we'll be fine.
He finally has the quarterback. He could do it.
Lenny, you got a hot take?
Yeah, so I did a little research on this. So last year we had 43 sacks as a total defense. I think this year we're gonna have 60 plus with
Hot as hell.
with from the defense and outside linebackers at least 45 sacks coming from those two position groups.
Sheesh.
So you said 60 sacks this year?
60 plus.
60 plus?
Hot as hell, baby.
Hot tonight. I like it.
That's a top 5. That's a top 5 defense right there.
That's the number 1 defense right there. The record's 72, and that was 1985 by the Bears.
That's
Bro.
funny. If I grab
We had 43 last year.
record prediction, like they don't line up.
We had 43 last year.
I'm not saying you, Lenny.
No
I'm
depth.
not saying you, Lenny, but I'm just saying.
No, I
Don't you
get
have these
you.
predictions where it's like we'd have to have a great season for them to hit, but you think we're going to win 6 games?
I mean,
Okay,
Garrett Allen had 22 sacks in a losing season.
Hey, you can have the number one defense and still not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hell, a couple of years ago, we were killing it on sacks and losing every game.
Yep.
Can I make one more hot take?
100%.
This is going to be crazy, but Greg Joseph is going to miss at least one field goal when we play them in Lambeau Week 4. That will keep us in the game. I'm not saying we're going to win the game.
Nick, they already cut him.
Well, what the?
There, let Joseph go.
No, that was a solid hot take. Keep going with it because you never know.
Okay.
He might come back, if his brother gets injured.
Because Punks know this. I need to know.
Kickers
Punks
get hurt.
got cut.
It's funny.
Okay, screw it.
Got cut.
Screw it. Look, I'm just going to say this. This is not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to put my reputation out like this. But I'm going to say this. We will win at Lambeau.
There you go. I love it.
Hey, I'm riding with Lenny's sack record here because Minnesota in 1989 is in second place all time, most sacks in the season at 71. I'm feeling that, man. I'm feeling that.
Gosh, who was our edge in 1989?
Wow, who? Some guy named Ed
Or Chris.
or Chris?
Coleman?
Yeah, that's the guy. My bad. I was thinking another dude.
Chris Stolen, the sack master.
You also gotta have depth because these pass rushers be getting tired towards the end of the season. So in order to keep them fresh and healthy, you gotta have at least 4 good sack.
I mean, I can make it into a 3-leg parlay and say that Dallas Turner, Ginkle, and Grenard will all have 11 plus sacks.
Wow.
I can tell you, Grenard's gonna have 12.5 plus.
Huh?
You can take that to the bank. All right, Fish.
If I was a
I'm
betting
so
man, I
glad
would
that
bet
we've been
that
giving
parlay.
these. I'm so glad we've been giving these edges some love tonight. Just like the last couple minutes, and our high grade on them. And here's my take. Gabriel Murphy is going to work his way up the depth chart, and by the end of the season, he is going to have a start.
A start?
So Murphy will have at least one start this year.
Mm-hmm.
Does this include injuries or he gonna earn it?
God, I was gonna say it, but I didn't want to. You just made that come into existence, Shaq.
I mean, Shaq. Okay, so what happens if an injury gives him a start, and then does he continue? And he continues, do then I get credit? I mean,
No,
I'll give you the credit.
There's no stipulation to it. There's no stipulation. If he starts,
I still give you the credit.
Dallas Turner can go down week 2 with an ACL, and they call him from the practice squad.
See, I ain't say all that.
To be a starter, you would probably
KOC are definitely under fire.
for it to be
you're fired, Cody. I see three people in front of him in the depth chart immediately. He's got to go through a lot to get that start.
Right. It would take 2 to 3 injuries for him to start because of injury. So I think if he does start at some point this year, it's merit based.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I got about 8 of these sheets. I'm going to send them to Fish, and he's going to type them up.
Okay.
You could just take.
I'll see it.
I mean, I got a hard time reading my own writing, so I'm like, I'm going to have to watch this episode again when I'm reading them.
Fish, you got an iPhone?
At least you can skip to the end.
I do.
So when he's sending you a picture, you can just copy the text and then paste it.
Shaq, I'm going to send you a picture, and I want to see you do that with my writing on this paper.
Hey, Shaq, I'm so happy that you have that much confidence in me that I would be able to know how to do that.
I want you to send me a picture of it so I can say, what the fuck was I smoking?
I mean, I'm eventually going to type them all up, and it'll be at the bottom of the thing we do, and it'll be there forever, like the topic that never gets brought up.
It's there to rot, baby.
Just there. Then all of a
All
sudden,
those emergency topics.
then all of a sudden, 1 week, you're like, hey, it's gone. I kind
Hey,
of
Keith.
seen it. It's gone.
Keith, I got a question for you.
What's up?
If I ever miss the hot take session because I'm sleeping, can I message you a hot take?
Sure.
I love it.
Okay.
I love the fact that Keith has these.
So yeah.
I love the fact that Keith has these Make-A-Wish topics on the bottom of the script, like for when we have a short show.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the
Hey
topics
guys,
that
I think we're only going to run about 80 minutes.
Yeah, whatever. We always double it.
And then we don't even get through the
we got
ones
topics
from
from last week one.
And I don't feel like it really went off the rails though either.
We've been doing pretty good keeping it on track. Sometimes like we'll let it go. Like if it's good, off the rails we're good. We'll let it go for a little bit, but then we gotta bring it back.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I've noticed. I think we're pretty structured and we're pretty good. Like I've been, kind of watching other shows and seeing, and you could tell they're pretty much just turning on the computer and talking to each other for the first time that week. Like kind of. So, what happened this week? And just kind of going off. So we kind of come into this bitch with a game plan.
The greatest moments in the shows now is when you bring up Kirk Cousins. It's not a whole 30-minute talk. It's like whatever, it's like one. We're moved. It's already moved on. We're like someone just brought it up.
Yeah, you're more likely to get a 30-minute talk about Case Keenum than Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, definitely.
We talked about Nick Mullins for like an hour one night.
We did too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's how
great.
That's not surprising, though. That's not surprising.
And we weren't even stretching. It was we were going at it like about Nick Mullins. Like it was real. Like we were.
Shaq was embarrassing about how he was gushing about that man, talking about how great he was, had just a little bit more arm strength, and he could be Brett Favre. I mean, just
watch.
Go on, Shaq. Go ahead and give it to him, Shaq.
We're gonna have this episode where we're talking and like, Keith, why do you keep talking about Nick Mullins? Fuck Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins sucks. Then all of a sudden I hit the button and Nick Mullins is gonna show up on camera.
I didn't mean it.
I'm like, get him. All
Well, I'm
right.
gonna do. So I had one hot take. I'm gonna do one more hot take, just because I hate this man so much.
You get a hot take. You get a hot take. You get two.
Well, I
hot
just want
takes,
one.
you
I
get two hot
think-
takes. Everybody gets a hot take. Fuck, I shouldn't have. Okay, what's you got? Cody?
After week 2, we're gonna see the Facebook page MVFU scream about why JJ McCarthy is not playing quarterback over Sam Darnold.
Agreed.
I think it's going to be an explosion. I think it's going to be the worst thing that we've seen since 2018 on this Facebook page.
I don't even think that's a hot take, man. I think you're right. That is dead spot on.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time believing they're gonna be screaming for JJ when we're 2-0.
I mean,
I have a hard time believing we're going to be 2-0.
I already started speaking that into existence last week. I will continue to speak that into existence, and it's gonna happen.
Let's
Will
go,
we
boys.
finish 2
I'm in.
after that? I don't know.
I'll even say this: Paul Allen will also be talking about why JJ McCarthy
Needs to start.
My neighbor doesn't even watch football, and they're gonna be talking about it.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys got Sam Darnold.
I'm gonna be barbecuing, and they're gonna pop over the fence like, hey,
You guys suck.
Rich gets it. Rich gets it.
How about Sam Darnold, bro?
But the thing is with Sam Darnold, we all know that could go either way. Like, none of us are very confident either way. Like, yes, he's going to ball out, or yes, he's going to suck.
I'm
I don't know,
100%.
neighbor.
You know, when life gives you a Nick Mullins, you don't just throw a Sam Darnold in the game. You just got to keep yourself going and hope the rookie pans out.
Damn it. I think that's where we should end it. So let's go around the horn and get out of here. What do you got for us, Lenny?
I was going to ask you guys, you guys do a fantasy league, right? Is there any spots open?
Champ is here. I don't know.
I don't know yet.
Sorry,
I would
champ.
Pick out about 5 people, but if they show up, then I can't. But there is about
I got
5 people. Like, I don't even know if you're really in the group anymore.
When are you starting? When are you kicking it off? I mean, training camp starts in 2 days, dude. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Preseason. I don't let nobody get an injured player in preseason.
Mm-hmm. Well, no. I'm not drafting right now, but you don't start you don't make the league. You guys don't have a reoccurring one, or what?
It'll automatically just pop up. I've been doing this shit for like 20 years, but there are some people that I wish I could just kick out, but I don't have the heart to do it and actually get people in who are more active
players.
I might have to start a Let's Skol fucking fantasy group now instead of a Minnesota Viking Fans Uncensored one. I don't know.
Yeah, every
time
in,
man. I'd love to have you in. So let's go because I've been in it for 3 years. It's been fun.
Yeah, and always been in it. Cody and Shaq jumped in last year, so like when somebody does jump out, I usually come in and grab one of you guys.
Every time he invites me to any league, I'm in the championship or in first place. It's ridiculous.
You know what? I don't remember if it's a 10 or 12 team league.
I was wrong.
It's a 12. It's a 12.
14 would be a little bit.
I counted the money. I was like, hey, $3 a buy-in.
I can add 2 more spots, but 14's kind of a lot.
Hey, Cody, just remember, I auto-drafted last year. That ain't happening this year.
I drafted like 9th.
I auto-drafted.
9th or auto-draft. 9th or auto-draft. Give me 9th.
I was at work, and I was driving during the draft.
Auto-drafting. This is you spending money in it.
Because Keith had the freaking thing happen on a day I was in a place with no internet, man. I had no internet. I was in the Adirondack Mountains, and no.
Sounds like an amateur mistake over there.
Fix is in.
No, it was not perfect because I won the year before.
Ronaldo, what do you got for us? Final words.
Final words. Get excited, man. All this doom and gloom. What are we doing? The season is about to start. We're on the precipice. We're on the eve of of this thing getting going. What are we doing? Oh, we're gonna suck. This is the time for hope. It's the time for having fun. Yeah, we had some weird shit happen in the offseason. So it happens in Minnesota. It's what we are. But man, we got a first-round quarterback. We got a first-round defensive end. We got all sorts of new people on this team. You have nobody on this call right now. I'm going to just say it. Nobody on this call right now actually knows what we're going to be when it's all said and done. And if you don't have hope going into this season, you aren't a fan. Get excited, have fun, and enjoy it. Skol.
I've had hope for the past 16 or when I'm in football, 95, 96, 19 years. I've had hope for the past 19 years. This is my first year not having hope.
I can remember that. I can remember that.
Yeah, I'm finally hitting that point.
To me, like I was always like telling myself not to have hope, but the hope was there. But I had to tell myself no. So I mean, I don't know what stage you're at, like because I'd have the hope, but I calm the fuck down. No, we're not going to be that.
I'm at the stage that preseason is going to be a lot funner than the real season. That's the point I'm at.
Dude, you're. I can't even think of the years, but you're like Tarvaris Jackson and like Williamson right now. And if that's the case, if that's where this team's at, then we should not have paid a wide receiver $140 million. Because what? By the time the contract ends, then we'll be ready to go?
Yeah. No.
That makes sense.
5 to 8 years, right?
Yeah.
So on to the next one.
Cody, it's not adding up. Chickens aren't clucking.
I gotta have someone at least exciting to keep you watching games on Sunday.
There you go, brother.
What do you got, Shaq?
So my last take before we head off, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe on YouTube and all the other platforms. Is Let's Go. This one is directed to Jordan Addison. I don't know if he's ever going to see this video, but Jordan Addison, do not waste your potential. You have so much potential to be a top 10 receiver in NFL history if you just work towards it and just keep perfecting your craft. Do not let the off-the-field issues stop you from being one of the greatest players to ever touch this game. Like, you got a lot of haters out there. You can have your fun. You can do what you want to do. But remember, if you want to get paid like your teammate, Justin Jefferson, you got to play like Justin Jefferson. He doesn't let the off-the-field issues get to his on-the-field issues because he's a problem on his own. against defending teams. So Jordan Addison, get your shit together and just be smart. That's all I got.
I like it. I feel like I need
Great
to clip
take.
that and like send it to his
Great
Instagram,
take.
and hopefully he reads it. You never know. Like you know who's really good about that? Josh Metellus, man. I go on Twitter. He responds to everybody that mentions him. Like somebody will be saying something about him. He'll be in the comments. Oh, really? Like he jumps in. Like he's very active. Like we could probably get him on this damn show. Like he's very like interactive on like Twitter. What do you got, Fish?
I have hope. I hope that our team bus doesn't break down on the way to one of the games I predicted we win.
I knew there was a punchline. I couldn't even get excited about that.
We got the unknown. Let's have some fun, guys. Let's just keep building this thing. This guy right here, he's being very creative, doing some yeoman's work, trying to get our social media presence up. We've got to pump this thing up. Let's buy in. I feel like we have something a lot of other people don't have. We have a very genuine, natural chemistry that we have that a lot of people don't have, where we talk football, have fun doing it, argue a little bit, get excited, bring very different perspectives to the argument. And I've seen a couple guys who are kind of at the stage that we are, and they're nothing. They're not nearly as good as us. It's like amateur hour compared to what we're doing. Let's get this thing pumped up. Let's try to make this thing something. Let's go.
Let's go.
I mean, we can do it.
Let's get Keith unfrozen.
I can't do that.
Amateur.
What's that, Cody?
Amateurs. We said we weren't going to do it. Well, we did it. All right. Don't beat your dog. Don't beat your wives. Don't beat your kids. Don't park your fucking $150,000 car in the middle of a fucking freeway. Right? Probably should move that to the first place. You're going to have fun this weekend. Be safe about it. All right? Don't be Jordan Addison. Go call yourself an Uber. Okay? Just be safe this weekend. Have fun. Drink as much as you want. Who gives a shit? It's your money. You're spending it. Just be safe. Plan. Enjoy yourself. And as always, let's go.
Let's go.
Baby.
All right, fellas. Another good 2.5 hours. So all that is like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you guys next Thursday. Let's go.
Let's go.